Welcome to the Roadrunner 89 Investment Network. Hope you enjoy. All right, how is everybody doing tonight? All right, see some people coming on. Mark, good to see you. Buy the book, good to see you. Good to see everybody coming on. Okay, it's a little bit late. Got off work a little late. Went and joined Miss Anita's channel. But I wanted to make a live tonight, and there was a TikTok I wanted to show you, but somehow I can't load it. Actually, it's on YouTube, but it's a TikTok. But anyway, um, tonight, um, the topic tonight is celebrating the swirl, swirl to investment. Okay, if you don't know what that means, if you watch my channel enough, you know exactly what it means. Swirl to investment means interracial dating to marriage, swirling the right way. Okay, nothing wrong with swirling. All right, it's just interracial dating. There are people that hate it, people that are race loyal. They don't like that. You hear people talk about swirling probably ever since YouTube started. Okay, and all it is interracial dating. Some people do it because it's trendy. Some people do it because it's exciting. But if you're going to do it for the right reasons. Do it because you love that person, because you want to be with that person. You want to take the relationship all the way. Okay. And a lot of people have. We've looked into stats, marriage stats, finding out that black women and white men are the most successful, the longest lasting marriages. And there have been many studies on that. And people ask me, where do you get your stats? Well, I just Google it. You have Pew Research. You could look in marriage stats there. You can also, there's many studies. All you got to do is Google and do a little research. And I tell people to do that to see if I'm wrong. Now, there might be a few percentage points on different studies, but I found that it's pretty much in sync for the most part. It's not an exact science, but it's pretty close. Okay. And people I've been talking to through this channel, people I have met, been married for several years, interracially, black women, white men, and we're seeing this happen. We're seeing success. And I talk about it all the time. And I promote it. And to all those goofballs out there, the swirling gone wrong crowd that tell you how dangerous it is to swirl, I would say it's dangerous not to in many cases. In fact, with the marriage stats the way they are, and I pulled up some stats and I've looked, different racial groups, and I put these stats up before. And with the marriage, Asians have the biggest percentage, 58%, white people 52%. This is within America on this study. And the black community's at 30%. Okay. Black women marriage stats are showing 27%. So that's what, 73% not married? Now, maybe that's a little skewed, maybe because, a lot of black people get married later on in life. Okay, so I'll put that out there to be fair, but the numbers really ain't that good. They're not showing good. And I always, you know, tell people open up your options, have that option button open. because I believe everybody should be able to get married, have a family, if that's what you want. Some people don't want to get married, and that's their choice, but a lot of people do. There's a lot of black women because of the numbers being outnumbered by black men by approximately 2 million in America, and then black men dating and marrying out twice as much as black women. Okay. And, you know, the stats, you know, if you're looking at it logically without emotions and you want to get married, you might have to open up your options. Does that mean get with a white guy? No. Um, you can do that. There's Hispanic men, Asian, different groups of men. Okay. And there's good and bad in every group. We all know this, right? But black women are finding the most success with white men. White men are finding the most success with black women. And I know people hate me for saying this, but it's the truth. There's truth is the truth. And it's not to put nobody down. To be fair, marriage statistics in America is horrible. It really is. If Asians lead the way at 58%, white people at 52, that's still horrible. That's like 48% still not getting married. What's going on? What's going on with our morals? What's going on, with the traditional family? What I just I mean across the board it's bad. So we need to open up our options. And we need to stop shaming people for opening up their options. Need to stop that, really. I know it ain't going to stop because there's jealous people and people with their segregated mindset that believe that we should stay with people that look like us. I say no, we don't need to do that. That in today's world that ain't going to work. And especially if you want to live in a traditional family set, if you want to be in a traditional marriage, because think about it. Every group has their good and bad, right? Okay. Now, if you're only able to choose from one group, your competition's a lot higher. Your your quality of men is lower, and it's not that they're bad men, there's just less of them. So, your stats your chances are lower. And if you outnumber men, ladies, guess what? You got to lower your standards to meet them. But if you have a open option, guess what? You have uh, a wider range of men, right? And guys too. If you open up your options, you have a wider range of women, right? So you have more to choose from. And if you're okay with somebody that's a different ethnicity, a different skin tone, if that don't bother you, you can find a quality person. And that's my whole point in this. Because look, society is suffering right now because our marriage, our moral structure is horrible. And there's people that never want to get married. There's people that are okay, having relationships, dating the rest of their life, sleeping with multiple people. But there's some people that are traditional that just want to be with one person, that want to have that nuclear family, that want to be married. So if you want that, if you look at it logically without emotions, I mean, what would you do, right? And I tell people, if you could look at somebody's character and not focus on what racial group or ethnicity they are, who would you pick? I mean, it depends on the man's character, right? Skin tone does not produce character. It does not produce a good man or woman. What does is what's in your heart, what's in your soul, what is your beliefs. You know, that's what produces a good marriage. And today, look, I embrace swirling, and I'm going to piss people off, and I don't care. I promote it. I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to encourage people to do it, but I'm going to encourage them to do it the right way. Swirl to investment. Do it for marriage. Do it because you love that person. It, don't do it because you want to see what it's like to be with somebody of a different racial group. Do it for true love. And we're finding out that a lot of interracial marriages are very successful. I've talked to people that have been married 40 years, 30 years, 20 years, 15 years. One person 50 years. Black women, white men. And I know this is going to make people mad too, but we set the standard. We are the standard. We are the power couple. And I believe that and I support that. That's part of my community. And you guys in here, that's your community. And we're leading the way. And we get the most flack. We get the most attacked. Because people do not like to see it. It just makes it takes away from the norm. It gets people out of their comfort zone. People don't like it because it's been a certain way for so long. They've been taught to stay within their racial group. That people have been conditioned. Hey, you marry somebody that looks like you, so you can continue. I guess the genetic looks of your kids and grandkids, so they all look like you. I've had people ask me that. Well, how can you have children with a black woman and your kids aren't going to look like you? Well, they're going to look like me and my wife. Yeah, they'll be darker complected, and they are, but that's okay. I did it for love. I swirled to investment. I've been married 28 years and still going strong. When I people doubted me and my wife Sandy's marriage. People thought we were crazy. People thought it wouldn't last. But it did last because our heart was in the right place, because we were strategic. We wanted that family. We wanted that marriage. We wanted a life together and children. And we got that. And we've been successful. And people will still attack me to this day, even though I've been married several years. But you know what? Somehow we make it through. You know what? Black women, white men, somehow they make it work. And not all of them, of course not, because us as people are flawed, right? We're not perfect. But if you look at it statistically in the collective, we're leading the way. And we are the most attacked. People come in, and if you're in an interracial marriage, they will, or interracially dating, they will come in and they will, show you hate. And some people feel because they're the same skin tone as you or your wife that they have every right to say negative things about it. No, they don't. It's none of their business. But black women, white men are making it work. They're being successful. And I got countless of stories of people that email me say, "Yeah, I have a cousin that was married to a white guy, and they're still married, and it's been several years." I have people say they have a sister that's done it. I have people say, "Yeah, you know, I'm a white guy and I've been married for 20, 30 years and it's great." I get this all the time. It's not unusual. It's not something that's a fluke. Our relationship's not a fluke. There's something happening here. There's something taking place. And people say, "Well, there's not that many doing it. It's only 4%." Okay. I believe it's a lot more than that, but okay, let's play with 4%. Since Loving Virginia was what, 1%? That's a 300% increase. That's 3 times what it was. And of course, it's easier to do it now, but as we move on through the years, it's getting easier and easier. right? So guess what? The numbers are increasing. And it's not going to be overnight where hundreds of thousands or millions of people just get married at one swoop. It takes time. It's a gradual thing. But look at it each year, it increases. It never goes down. And guess what? The marriages are getting more successful. Why? You know, think about it. But I'm here, you know what? They say the dangers of swirling, I'm going to tell you about the dangers of not swirling. You might not get married. You might be sitting there waiting for a man in your community to come sweep you up and marry you when black women are married at 27%. Now, I mean, you might have it together, you might be fine and you might be the perfect woman, but I've seen a lot of very beautiful, smart, educated black women that aren't married in their 50s, some in their 60s. And you're like, how could that happen? Why? Because they didn't open up their options. And when they did, they were shamed for doing it. And you know what? This is your life, ladies, gentlemen. This is your life. It's up to you how you want to spend it, who you want to be with. It's nobody's business. I don't care if they're your mother, father, brother, sister, cousin, okay? Unless you're a minor child, of course, it's their business. But if you're an adult, you have to make this decision, and you need to choose wisely because I'm seeing people that are heartbroken in my age, older than me, you know, wish they would have opened up their options, wish they would have gave that man a chance, wish they would have stayed with that woman that really loved them, but they didn't because they felt society was going to make it rough for them or who they're with. But we're finding out the ones that have went forward and stuck to it and just did it, they're better off than those of us that are staying race loyal. Think about it. And when I say us, I'm saying general, because I've been in an interracial marriage. I didn't stay race loyal at all. And I'm not going in on people that do that. You love who you love. But what I'm saying is I open up my options and I'm the most successful in my family when it comes to marriage. Why? It's not supposed to work, right? I remember my grandmother said those interracial things don't work. You're too different, two different cultures. People ain't going to like it. You're going to live a rough life. 28 years later, no, it's not rough at all. Yeah, there's haters, of course. There's jealous idiots out there that'll say stupid stuff. But oh well, that's their problem. And when you figure out that what's really going on, and you look at these marriage stats, and people try to check me all the time, say, "No, you're wrong. They're wrong." No, but look at the stats. I'm going online. I'm looking at it, and guess what? I'm seeing it in real time. I'm seeing it in my life. So something's going on, and something beautiful is going on, and we should embrace the swirl. You know what? Encourage the swirl. You know, people are finding true love by opening up their options. Now, does that mean if you open up your options, everything's perfect? No. Does that mean you won't find someone that's a weirdo? No. You still got to vet. You still got to, you know, be smart about it. But you know what? If you look at the stats, and that's what I keep looking at, and I'm amazed, but then again, I'm not because I lived a life with it in an interracial marriage. Me and my wife, we met back in 93. We got married in 94 and still married, still going strong. We got children and your grandchildren. So those of you that those that say it don't work, I got news for them. I got proof it does work. And I see other people that it works. I get emails all the time. Yeah, you're right. You know what? I've been married this many years. I have black women emailing me and white men saying, "You know what? You're absolutely right. I'm glad you're saying it because nobody else is." There's interracial channels. There's people that and they're great. They're wonderful. I love it. But how many people are talking about the stats? How many people are telling the truth? How many people dig into the numbers and say, you know what? Black women, there's 2 million more of you. And your male counterpart is dating out 2 to 3 times what you do. And then your marriage rate's 30%. And when it's black women, it's 27%. So really, what do you do? Are you okay with that? Or is marriage just a piece of paper? I've heard people say that online. Oh, well, they talk about marriage stats. It's just a piece of paper. No, it's not. It's a commitment between a man and woman and God. It is very serious. It's not just a piece of paper. Yes, it is on a piece of paper on your marriage license, marriage certificate. It's a commitment between you and God. It is. And to each other. Also, white men do need to approach them. Yes, and that's a problem too. Here's the thing. White men that are interested in black women need to approach. Okay? And black women that are interested in white men or other races of men, you need to be where they're at. They need to know you're there. Okay? White men ain't just going bust through your neighborhood and look for you to marry them. It's not going to happen like that. Okay? There are so many white men that would date black women in a heartbeat, but there's not much access. We're still kind of segregated in a way, and we think each other hates each other. Black women, white men are the ones that are the most successful but the least likely to give each other a chance. How does that make sense? What are we doing? We're pushing away a blessing. We're pushing away success, giving up on that power couple that you could be. And let me tell you something. And what makes this strong is we're both leaders in our community. We are. And let me tell you something. When black women make up their mind to do something, they do it. And let me tell you, when black women decide, you know what, we're going to open up our options, the more that do it, they're going to do it. And the dynamics going to shift. You know, 1%, 4%, 8%, 12%, it's going to climb. It's going to have that snowball effect. And people could say, well, there's only just a few doing it. Not many are doing it. Well, not many people are successful. Not many people are millionaires. Not many people are doing things they really want to do. But should we not strive to do it because not too many people are doing it? I never looked at the numbers. I knew I wanted to be with a black woman from the get go. I wanted to marry a black woman. I prayed to God. God would send me a black woman. That's how much I love black women. And you know what? I didn't feel I really had a lot of chances. But you know what? That's what I wanted. And I went for it. And that's what power couples do. That's why their marriages work, because they just do it. They don't care what anybody thinks, they just do it. And they're successful at it too. So I'm celebrating the swirl. I'm promoting the swirl. I'm down with the swirl. I think the swirl is the best thing that ever happened. Thank God we can interracially date and marry in today's world. Thank God that there's no laws against interracial marriage. And I'm telling you, more and more men are competing for black women, and it's going to be more and more. So those that just want to stay race loyal and one have racial separation, those days are gone. Those days are going by faster and faster each day. And you know what? That's good. That's a blessing. But they will attack you. They will attack you. They don't like seeing it. Because here's the thing, it's going to knock things out of balance. Once black women decide they're going to open up their options, and once white men say, you know what, Becky, Karen, I love you, but you know, Keisha over here has really got it together. I want to be with her. And then once white men put black women on that pedestal, it's done. And that day will come. It's already happening. And I think it needs to happen because we're the ones putting in the commitment. We're the ones that are making it happen. We're the ones that are most attacked. We're thinking strategic beyond. We're thinking beyond the bedroom. We're thinking family. We're thinking children, grandchildren, legacy. Yeah, I think white men are getting frustrated with Becky. Yes, we are. And nothing against them. I'm not attacking Becky and Karen. What I'm saying is, you know what? We're seeing black women do amazing things. And you know what? We want to be with them. I seen it early on. Hey there, Afro Angelique.
Hey, Brent.
Hey, good to see you.
Good to see you too. I'm just saying you're on fire tonight, and
Oh,
you're
I
making
am?
some very good points.
Oh, thank you. But you know what? We're being successful and we're getting shamed and attacked for it, really. Not so much white men, but black women. I mean, gosh. I see it. I see people saying how they hate swirlers and whatever they get is coming to them. They'll have some bad situation, right? And they'll just focus on that, and there'll be hate, like not even like, oh man, that's bad that happened to her or him or whatever. They just like so much anger and disdain and I'm like, and they'll make these videos. I don't know if they still do, but they used to make them swirling gone bad, and they'd find some relationship that didn't work out or something went bad. And
Foolishness.
what's that?
They're dealing with foolish people because
Yeah,
when you have two people that go into a relationship intentionally, they ship through everything.
yeah, and you're going to find those cases that go horrible. Every group, we're flawed people. It just is what it is. But if they never tell you the stats, they focus on that one bad time, and boom, they say, "See, there it is. There's proof." Like,
Yeah, I
wait a
mean,
minute. Uh,
if you focus on the bad, you're going to find bad. But if you look at the statistics, most white men and black women are successful. And that's
they
just
are.
and I believe that's just because even though a lot of people date interracially, men and black women get the most flack. They face the most hate. So
They
they
do.
have to have each other's back. And if you don't have each other's back, then your marriage is going to fail. Your
Yes.
relationship's going to fail. So because you have to have it makes it that much stronger.
Yeah, it does. And I've said this too, and this might sound weird, but I've said there's times that I miss the fight. I miss the time that I had to tell somebody off for my wife or, stand up and just, I miss that sometimes. Like, And I know that sounds weird because who wants confrontation? But sometimes I
I th-
crave it. I don't know. It's kind of
I think it's because you get to prove your love on a
yeah.
different level when that happens.
Yeah, and if my wife sees it, it's like, that means something. That's like, wow, he's standing up for me. And
Yeah,
and,
and
and
probably look, and it probably adds some spice as well.
oh yeah, and then when I see her stand up for me, I'm like, wow, she loves this is she's I'm just at awe like uh thank you God. That's just what I'm just like, it's really a great feeling. And I get people that email me all the time say, you're right. We've been married this many years. You know what? We've been married this many years. And thank you for saying it. Thanks for um and you know what? You're going to stand up for your community, right? Um and why wouldn't you? And this is my community, the interracial community, and and that's what it is. And people think that they can talk about you, they can go in on you, and because one of them's the same skin tone as you or your spouse. I'm like, how does that make sense? But people do it. You should see, some of the stuff, the comments since I started I've got some real heinous, horrible stuff said about me. And sometimes they've said stuff about my wife. I mean,
I
and
believe it.
even my children. Some wackos have even gone in on my kids, calling them half breeds and all this other stuff. I mean, I can't go into everything they've said, but it's pretty horrible.
It's it's probably hurtful and heinous.
Oh, it is. It's like, I mean, it makes me mad that they said that about my family, but what can I do? I don't know who they are, or they're keyboard warriors.
Yeah,
Um,
you have to take the high road.
yeah, but if they say it about me, I don't care. I don't even get mad. I mean, okay, that's your opinion, and I can step away from it. But when it comes to wife and children, that's crossing the line. I
Yeah,
mean,
'cause that's like you can take a lot for yourself, but when it comes to your family, oh no,
yeah, yeah,
it's time to go to war.
that's a different story. But but hey, the swirling thing, I'm all for it. I know some people think it's a bad word. All that just means hook up interracially. No, I mean it can be that, but it also can mean dating to marriage. What I call swirling to investment. So I say swirl to investment. And I keep saying that. What's that mean? Well, that means interracially date to marriage because your biggest investment is your marriage. There's nothing more valuable, no investment more valuable than a marriage. Seriously. If you get the right woman, your life is wonderful. It's great. And ladies, you get the right man that's doing what he's supposed to, your life's going to be so much better than if you get somebody that's not stable. And that affects your life. And if you have kids, you're stuck with them forever. Whether you divorce or go your separate ways, you're stuck because now you're parents together. So it's critical you choose right. You know,
Yes, it's very critical because you want to have harmony in your home.
yeah. Because if you don't, that's
That's
nobody would.
that's traumatizing for your child.
It is. Oh yeah, very much so. If you don't have a good relationship at home as a husband and wife, your children are going to know it and they're going to feel it and they're going to grow up insecure, they're going to be scared. They're not going to know what to think because the two people they love the most is the mother and father, and if they're not in sync, if they're not in harmony, it's not good. It's yeah.
It's not only that, it'll also teach them bad habits and relationships in the future.
Yes. And that's a good point. And a lot of relationships that are bad is passed down. It can be good too, and that's why it's critical that the marriage is critical, the family dynamic. Because if you got a good marriage, you're teaching your kids how to love and start their family. You know, because I mean, seriously, we're like almost a carbon copy of our parents in a way. We're not the
Yeah,
same person, but we learn our behavior from our parents, right? And if they're doing right, usually we'll do right. Not always. If they're doing bad, hey, we're usually going to go down that road too. I mean, there's always an exception. People have done the right thing and been in the worst situation, and people been in the best and went the wrong way. I mean, it happens. But if we're interested in family, marriage and children, wouldn't we be strategic? Wouldn't we look at data? Wouldn't we look at what's going on and say, hey, you know what? This area, there's more success than that area. I mean, logically, that's what we would do, wouldn't? I mean, hey there. Oh, you cammed up.
yes.
All right. Good to see you.
Good to see you. So, um,
Uh,
now, oh, I just want to tell you, you were looking sharp in your suit. With,
oh, oh, thanks. Well, I got a comment from some guy that called me Mr. What did he say? Oh, I had to share that. He called me Mr. Men's Warehouse. And I'd say, sir, it's not Men's Warehouse. Joseph A. Bank. Ah.
look,
how, how dare you insult me like I was like, oh, okay.
I was like, look, you were having a James Bond moment.
Yeah. Well, it was, yeah. Yeah, well, that suit I wore is the one I wore at the wedding.
Yes. I,
Yeah.
look, I told you, you cannot go wrong with what Sandy picks for you.
I
Because
can't. She picks it all.
it was, you were looking very sharp.
Yeah. Well, that was the colors they picked for their wedding. The I think golden burgundy, I think it was.
Hmm.
So, um, yeah. So I picked out the suit, but my wife picked out the shirt and tie and everything that went with it. It's like, she married me. She picked an okay guy, and then she just perfected me.
There's always a refining process.
Yeah,
Because as my mother taught me, when you leave the house, you represent me. So, can't let
yeah,
let you leave the house looking busted.
yeah, yeah, and that's what a good wife does. Seriously, and this is what black women do. If they love you, they perfect you. They take what you have and they make it a little bit better. And I could speak that I could speak about that through 28 years of marriage, how my wife has, her encouragement, her love for me has pushed me further than I ever thought I could be. You know. And hey LVN, good to see you.
Hello, hello.
Hey, LVN.
Hey.
I see you
Hey,
got your avatar situation straight.
I did. Thank you very much.
Yay.
a Brent Vaughn moment. uh,
So the reason why I believe Brent, the reason why you're so appreciated is because you create a community of love, and you try not to go down the negativity road. And we appreciate it because this is one of the few spaces online that you can come to and get love as a Black woman.
Oh, and hey, I love black women. There's pretty. God, I can't even talk. Yeah, I mean, I love black women, and there's nothing. I'll never run out of love for black women. Seriously, and I've said it through the years. I've seen amazing things that black women have done as a child, as a teenager, as a man, and I'm seeing it today. I can just look out. Black women I see doing amazing things, and I'm like, wow. And a lot of these women do not get credit for what they do. Society is not giving black women credit for what they're doing. They're not. They're just not doing it. You know.
It's because we're the neck of the world. We tell people where to look. So we don't get credit for a lot of stuff.
Yeah. But I think I've wondered about this because I was thinking, wow, black women are the most educated. Um, you know, when it comes to entrepreneurship, they're leading the way. When it comes to marriage, if you look in the stats, they're leading the way. Because if you look at it, when black women marry black men, they do better in their community, right? When black women marry white men, our marriages are more successful. And I mean, and something's going on. And what proves this is if you look in the stats, right? Um, when black men are more successful marrying black women, when it comes to marriage, they are than when they marry out. And white men are more successful marrying black women than even marrying white women. That's proven. That's true. So
I think a
something's
lot of that. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, go ahead.
I think a lot of that has to do with when you know that you are going to be tested, you have a tendency to make better decisions. So, because if you're going to be tied to that person for the rest of your life, then you have to know that they're going to have your back. And so even if the first time you go out it doesn't work, doesn't mean that you can't find the right one, because you have to find somebody that's going to be strong enough to weather the storm with you.
Yeah.
I agree with that. However, Brent, you said something about the black and white, the black woman and the black man marrying and successful. That's not
Well,
always true. And
no, yeah, I know that. I didn't mean it that they're just totally successful. What
no,
I'm
I know you
saying
didn't. I know you didn't. What I'm saying is
is,
that's really the rare exception to the rule. And
yeah,
it's becoming more and more obvious, like you said. We may not see all of the couples, the IR couples, but they are
hmm
there. They're shining. And I have
yeah,
that in my family, and they are just absolutely amazing. Um, and you guys know, you and Sandy know, when we went to lunch that day, we talked
yeah,
about this extensively. So I'm and this is like Effer Angelique, we've talked about this. I'm never gonna say, and I am not, for the record, people, I'm not a black male worshiper. I have a black son, and I've raised him to treat women respectfully. But we're talking about me. We're talking about mama.
hmm
And mama's turn is now. And I'm looking for the elevation side of this, meaning in my opinion, and based on life's experiences, for me, the IR is the only way to go.
mm,
It's the only way to go. I mean, I'm at that stage in my life. I don't want to play games. And I'm sorry. I don't want to be looked at for my gorgeous body. I need you to see me. And white men look at us. They don't look at and try. They may imagine what's under our clothes, but they don't
Yeah.
make that obvious. They
Yeah.
don't make it obvious. You know what I'm saying?
No, they don't encroach on your personal
No, they don't.
space
They do not do that.
because I look, I have not had one black man when approaching me not violate my personal space. I can
Exactly.
say that honestly.
I was in the grocery store. I think I told you about this, Afro Brent, a couple of weeks ago or
Uh,
so. This
uh-huh.
guy, this guy walked in. I was over by I was picking out some steaks or something. He walked up to me and with the same old hello, how you doing, all that crap. And out of his mouth, I really want to kiss you. And I'm like, what? He goes, you look, I just want to kiss you. You look so beautiful. I just don't think a white man would have walked up to me and said that. I just don't. I don't believe he would just,
Yeah.
I really, and follow me all through the store. Okay. Follow me.
Yeah.
So are you going
Yeah.
to
I
let
don't. I
me?
don't believe that either.
Exactly.
I.
And it's just, it's
I.
just,
Yeah. We might think about that, but we're not.
yeah,
Nah. That.
exactly. Yeah. I mean, but to
that
blatantly tell me, oh,
God.
I really want to kiss you. Excuse me? And I know you from
wow.
where, but this is how I got rid of him. And ladies, this is a wonderful tip. Do not give them your phone number. Give them your email. The reason you don't want to give a total stranger, especially a black man, and yeah, I'm saying it so you can come for me. The reason you don't want to do that, how many other women before he walked up on you did he collect phone numbers from? And
Mhm.
I'm not going to be a notch on any man's belt.
Yeah.
I think that may be a good way to go just because it takes effort for you to make it do an email, not necessarily a text message.
Email. Don't
I
text
know,
message.
I
He has
know
a phone.
it takes effort to do an email.
Exactly. And it causes you can eliminate him instantly. Because when I said that, he said, "You're not gonna give me your phone number." I said, "No, I don't give out my phone number to complete strangers.
Yeah.
You can take my email, but you're not getting my phone number."
You can give them a Google number. You can get a Google number and do it that way.
I don't
I,
even
And
want to waste my time doing that, Brent.
yeah, I know, but
I don't even-
look,
yeah, well,
it eliminates a lot of foolishness. I promise you that.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely.
yeah, yeah, because the Google number you can make it. You could give it its own area code. You could pick one like in New York and be in California or something. Or yeah,
I don't think, you know what? I don't think he deserves that effort from me.
yeah, yeah. If
I
he's
just don't.
that that's inappropriate, and even if he
Absolutely, absolutely.
even if he has a desire for you, wouldn't he approach like it? Get to know who you are before
Exactly.
saying
That's
he
my
wants
point.
to
He
kiss
and
on
he
you and all
and
that.
he was persistent. He was persistent, and I kept saying, "No,
Th-
Oh wow.
This is
no,
not. I mean, this is not even. Unfortunately, this is not even unusual
no."
because I was just I was in the grocery store shopping, and this guy was just up on me like I could feel his breath on me. He was so
Yes,
close to me.
yeah. And every time
So
I would step back, he'd just come closer. It's like you're invading my space. We are in a
Oh,
public place. Back off.
he was trying to intimidate you in a way.
Well, I think it didn't, turned on him
Yeah,
because I told him,
but I
uh-uh.
I don't know. I just wonder if if he's doing it because maybe it worked with the woman before, and he thought maybe it'd work with
Probably
you.
so. Probably so.
Yeah.
Probably so.
but it's funny to me. It's just like they will come up to you and violate your personal space without even a second thought.
Exactly.
You can talk to me and still observe my personal bubble.
That's what I was saying just now. A white guy could think, "Oh, I really want to kiss you. I like you," but he will not do that upon first gazing at me. He won't do that.
No, that's disrespectful.
Yeah,
That's like,
absolutely,
yeah,
absolutely.
that's I mean, yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing to say. It's so ridiculous.
Yeah, I can't imagine.
I mean,
I
it's
mean,
like they just don't grow up. They don't mature. They never get past that. How many women can I score? They don't get
yeah,
past that.
yeah.
Yeah, it's foolishness,
Absolutely, it is.
and
You
I
know
am at a
what?
point in my life where I do not do foolishness.
Mm-mm.
You know what you just said? That's amazing because I've had guys come in on me and say, "Well, yeah, you might be with a black woman, but we've been with more white women than you have black women." And I'm like, yeah, you're probably right, but I'm looking for quality, not quantity."
There you go.
I mean,
Exactly.
And what are they accomplishing except leaving a bunch of illegitimate children strewn all over the United States and elsewhere just to say that they've had more women than you? I mean, that is so ridiculous. It's
yeah,
beyond ridiculous.
yeah, it is,
And
and even if you don't have children, how many people you mess up because
Yeah,
when
how
you
many women have you hurt in the process?
yeah,
Exactly.
because when you
Yeah.
get intimate with someone, I mean,
You
that's
some
a
of
develop
these
soul
a soul
tie.
tie. You
it,
develop a
it
soul tie.
yeah, it's not good.
Mm-mm.
Uh,
Mm-mm.
I mean, the physical part might feel good and fun at the time, but after it's over, it's just not right. Something's
No,
wrong. Something's missing.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Something is
Yeah,
broken within that
yeah,
person if they feel like they need to bed that many people.
yeah,
But side note, Brent, you can say instead of saying you've had multiple years of marriage, you can say that you've had multiple decades of marriage.
yeah. I could say that. Yeah.
You just you can officially say you have multiple decades of marriage because you're almost on the 3 decade point.
Yep. I'm a year and a half will be 30 years. Yeah. Wow. I
Okay,
can't
so my
even.
question is, Brent, when are you
Yeah.
gonna start the classes?
The
But
classes.
Uh-huh.
the
When you go to the classes for all these
the
men that
zaddy
you
school of
all the
zaddiness.
all these men that you allegedly say that want us so bad. So you remember I got you at the restaurant with this, remember? I
Yeah,
got
I,
you. So when are the classes gonna start for these guys?
the classes for the guys. Well,
Uh-huh.
The Zaddy Academy,
the the Zaddy Academy.
I don't know. I'm not sure about the
You know
Zaddy
what?
thing, but I
Yeah.
just think Afro just made such a valid point. You've got 3 decades under your belt. Who better? I mean, bring them out of the
Yeah.
so-called quote unquote, they're afraid. I mean, that's ridiculous. They're grown
Yeah.
men
It is. It
and they
is.
know what they want.
Yeah.
I don't ever pursue men. That's just not something I would do.
that's not something because
Yeah,
my
that is
mindset, men are hunters and they're supposed to,
they are the hunters. They are the hunters. And I'm going to always remain in my femininity. So I can't
Hmm.
go hunting anybody.
Yeah.
I mean, I will drop a handkerchief. I will not be in pursuit.
No, I won't. I don't even know. If I drop my handkerchief, it's gonna be accidental.
You might get the wrong guy, the wrong idea. Hey, she just
Exactly.
dropped it. Here I
Exactly.
go.
Exactly. Uh-uh. No,
I well.
if they're really truly interested and really, as you say, Brent, and you would know, if
Mhm.
they really want us, there's no reason to be quote unquote afraid of rejection. You're saying you want us. It's obvious we're here.
Yeah.
What's the problem?
It's nothing
Well,
like good eye contact. I can tell you that.
Absolutely.
hey, I tell you what. If I could do it at 16, they can do it as a grown man. I'm just
That's
saying.
exactly right.
I think
And,
at 16 you're a little bit more fearless though.
uh,
No, not
Well,
because when they see what they
no,
want, they go after. You just said they're hunters.
no. It's here's the thing with that. When you really want to be with somebody, when your
Exactly.
heart's in it,
Mm-hmm.
it is harder to approach than somebody. Well, I'll just date her, whatever. It's harder because you do not want to be rejected. You and when I approached my wife, it was tough. I tell you, I was stuttering. I I was in my mind just freaking out while I was doing this, you might say, because
And
I
see,
really wanted the connection.
Brent, to me, I mean that's a double-edged sword. You were freaking out that you really wanted her, but you did it. I mean,
Yeah,
you're the I keep saying you're the epitome. You're the example. So I don't buy that. Well, we're afraid of being rejected. That's stupid. It's really
yeah,
stupid.
it is stupid. You
And it's
just
time
gotta
that
just
you
do
stop
it.
hiding behind that.
Well, it is. You know what? If you're going to approach, make sure you get some eye contact first, because that'll tell you all you need to know.
Yeah. Um.
Hi, Lashi.
Hey, Lashik, how's it
Hey,
going?
hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hello.
Uh, Hi, how's it going?
It's going good.
Everything is well.
Really, really well.
Yeah, we're
Oh,
I'm declaring this Team Swirl Day, October 8th. From this day forward, we will we will celebrate this day and mark it in history.
Okay.
Yeah,
oh, that's lovely.
yeah,
You know, this point, excuse me, this point you made earlier, the lady about a man just walking up to you in the store and invading a personal bubble here. And then I can't wrap my head around that. Okay, I've
No
had
one could.
numerous,
Well, how do you think I felt? I'm sitting in there
but
trying to
then
buy food.
honestly, I don't really understand it because you know I've had situations where I've stood on my own. Okay, let me give an example, or rather, let me give an instance. I went to the movies, I think, or somewhere, and I was at a concession stand, and this idiot, I just felt hands on my waist. Okay, so I thought, hey, this must be I know. But then again, I know myself. I'm really quite reserved. I'm not somebody people just walk up to and grab my waist. I don't know
mhm,
anybody like that. So I turned around and I was wearing heels. So that put me at about 6'2" or 6'1". And I saw
Ooh.
this midget, this Tyrion Lannister, the black version in front of me. And I turned around like, I thought maybe this idiot, he thought I was somebody else. I made an error. So I turned around and looked down, obviously. And he's like, oh, wow, beautiful shape. He actually thought that grabbing my waist was complimentary to me. And I went, naturally, of course, my natural feminine instinct response was to slap the bejesus out of that idiot. I don't really understand how you just walk up to somebody and you grab somebody's waist.
That's the
Who
point.
raised you?
That's the
Who
point.
raised
They
you?
feel entitled. That's my point.
Or,
They
or
feel
rather, who didn't raise you? Who didn't
it's
raise you?
mm.
crazy. Yeah. I mean, when he
It,
kept following me around in the store, it's like, okay, what part of no did you not understand? They feel entitled.
yeah,
Hmm.
but that's because they
I
are the
have
most
actually.
desired.
Yeah, I've said that. What part of no don't you understand? The N or the O?
Okay.
But but you know something very bizarre, right? How can a bunch of males who claim to be the most desired on this planet, how can you act so desperately towards women? It kind of doesn't seem like maybe you're not the most desired because if let me tell you, if I'm walking out of my apartment or I'm walking out in public, or I'm walking out and going out generally.
Mhm.
I know I am the shiznit. Okay. I don't expect if a guy's talking to me, if a guy's approaching, you can't even just approach me. You really need to get your courage together. Okay,
Mhm.
from everything, you can't just walk up to me. So I know that the looks that I'm getting, I don't think, oh, they're looking at me because I look like crap. No, man, they're looking at me because I am the shiznit. So therefore, a man, even if I see a guy that I'm like, oh, he's cute, I'm not going to go, hey, you're cute, grab his legs, you're cute, take me, choose me. And then he's like, get off my leg. I'm like, no, choose me, I'm desired. It makes absolutely no sense, okay? It sounds stupid,
Hey,
right?
I'm the
Right,
most I'm the most
right.
desirable, so let me chase you around the store. So I
Exactly.
Yeah,
Or
well,
look,
and
I'm
traumatize
just
you, and traumatize you with my desire.
it's
He's
like
looking at
I'm
he's
letting you
looking at
know.
you because he thinks he has the right to wrap his hands around your waist. He thinks he
Yeah.
has the right to just assume that you're going to be stupid enough to let him kiss you. They
Can,
just feel entitled.
can you
It's like,
blame them though?
but the thing about it is that they're just like, oh, I am desirable. Let me just give you the opportunity to know that I'm interested in you and how grateful you should be for my interest.
Entitlement,
Like all women are desperate to be with them or something.
You know
entitlement.
Okay,
something?
no,
But
that's not it. It's just that, this whole most desirable thing, it's literally it's just a manipulation tactic towards
Thank
black women because
you. Thank
white women,
you.
Asian women, Hispanic slash Latina, uh, um, majority are literally just white women who speak Spanish. Like those women, they don't find them desirable. They really don't. But they know that if and this is why I can't also blame black men, well, these men for having these mindsets because I blame black women also for this because black women will literally give them everything without them ever proving they're men and etc. Black women will kiss their butt. Black women will coddle them. Black women make excuses for them. Black women will not give them competition, male competition. Just give them crumbs and the whole cookie without doing anything. But they can treat you like dirt. Yet you're still like kiss their butt. So
You're
exactly, they're
just
not going
saying
to change.
everything I'm saying in one word, dear, entitlement. And somebody said to a butthead him, I'm not butting my head up against no heathen. Are you kidding me?
it's
you,
you know what? If
I'm not doing that.
somebody I didn't know walked up behind me and grabbed my waist, my first reaction would be elbow to the gut or neck
Yeah.
or punch to the throat. It's
Oh,
just
I slap his
wow.
face. Woo.
because
I'm
I
actually
I
a very
respect my
good slapper.
space.
Yeah.
I'm a good
Exactly.
slapper. I'm a good
Exactly.
slapper. I know how to connect to the face very well.
I
I
know
can
how to
actually
take my
give.
knee to the appropriate area.
I haven't done that one yet, but I can give
I
master classes on how to slap a man. I really can. I've been defending myself my whole life. So if it's slapping, not fighting, I don't really know how to do the whole physical tussle thing, but slapping, which I think is a woman's domain. It's a
Mhm.
woman's prerogative.
Creating one,
Slapping.
I hope he has insurance as well because I'm going for the knee. And I know you get what
Yeah.
I'm saying. I know you get what I'm saying. I'm going for
He'll
the knee.
he'll be out for the
And
count.
I'm a nurse. I can render first aid until the police get there.
Okay. You know what?
Oh
There-
Lashik,
and
don't you agree, girl? I mean,
my God. I
if he
agree.
thinks he's entitled enough that we're gonna coddle him. Not every black woman is gonna coddle you, fool.
I swear. This
But
thing
the
you were
thing
saying about.
is, only 10%. The thing is, they think 90% of black women, because that's what I think, 90% of black women will stay and do the struggle stuff. Only 10% would date out, but they know that the majority of black women will try to do everything for them. So instead of them trying to see which black woman wouldn't, do it, they'll just be like, well, what's the point? We know majority of you guys will do anything to be with us, so we don't have to figure out if you're diverse, etc. And I always tell, this is what I noticed, but I always tell like some black women that the ones that are always caping for them, who I call mammies, those girls and women, they don't want them because they're easy. They could just fall back on them. I call them the cleanup ladies also. When the women that these guys go for that don't want them or suck them dry, they fall back on those girls. So they don't really want them. They want girls like the ones they want black women that is usually associated with white men or white men would pick. Because I don't know why, but to them, they just need to have an upper hand over white men. I don't know why. So they like throw these but instead of actually competing with that white man, they will literally make that black woman just stay away from that white man. So they'll just
They're
throw tactics like
incapable of
white men don't even
competing.
want you anyways,
Yeah.
or white men wouldn't marry you, etc. So
They're
yeah.
incapable of competing with a white man. They are incapable.
And you know, incapable of competing
Even-
with women. Women, you're talking about men. Women, they're incapable of competing with
They're
women.
incapable. Well, they are incapable of competing with a white man because they're so busy whining about what the white man has always done to them. Am I
How
right?
can
Brad?
you sorry,
Absolutely.
go on.
Yeah, they're always
How can
whining
you
about it.
How can you compete with men who are providing for the very air you
Exactly.
breathe? You
Exactly.
idiot. Okay.
Exactly.
How can you compete? And you know the funny thing, Deader than a motherfucker was saying something about women, black women coddling black men. I really don't like to call them men. Uh, black women coddling the race counterparts. Okay. Now, it's very easy to understand where that comes from because initially it was, oh, the black man is oppressed, the black man is this, the black man is that, everyone is killing him all over the place. Now, so women want to like, we have to protect our own, we have to make sure he's seen in public like a person. You know, we have to make sure to avoid shame to us as women, so it doesn't look like we don't have men with us. So we have to protect their image, whereby saying that, oh, okay, they are financial, put them in the middle class. It was association and affiliation with black women that put black men uh, uh, income in the middle class. Then also saying, oh, he's fantastic, is this, he could do no wrong. In fact, he was one of the thieves that was nailed on the side of the cross with Jesus the Christ at the same time. They're all together in the resurrection right now. This is the representative on earth. So, and so on and so forth, okay? So I think that's where the nonsense comes from. And that's why you see when black women go out with black men, most of the time they're sneaking the money to pay the bill to the man for him to pay the bill. Or the woman has to pay. Now the men are no longer hiding. They're now going to 50-50. But before 50-50, it was black women sliding credit cards under the table, sliding money secretly, pushing it into the man's hand so that he can pay the bill. And that's why black women also have this BBC nonsense, which we all know is a myth. It's an absolute joke. It's an absolute myth. Because it's true, ladies. We all know this. And they're very, very bad in bed. But so anyway, now the BBC thing started because that's all they have. They have nothing. They do not have economic power. They don't have social power. They don't have intellectual power. They've never, ever invented anything that made any sense at all. The only thing they managed to invent on this planet is hideous, disgusting rap music. Besides that, they have absolutely every single thing they do is expendable sweat equity. Yeah. So this cuddling of, oh, the black man is this, the black man, the black man, it all came because black women had to do that because they had to prop this idiot up. Because if they don't do that, they're going to fall flat on their faces. They're going to melt. And I'm so happy now that black women have finally come out and say, you know what? Y'all need to shut the hell up. Y'all ain't got no decency, okay? The BBC is nonsense, okay? A lot of black women are coming out now. We don't have orgasms. They don't make us come. They're not good in oral sex. They just come and pump people.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Come on.
Oh, wow.
You know, yes,
Which
I'm
goes
going
back to
there.
my
I'm
point.
going
Which goes back to
there.
my point. They don't have anything because it's always someone else's fault. Guess what? The white man. It's his fault.
And the
Yeah.
erectile dysfunction, erectile dysfunction is the white man's fault.
Well,
That erectile
hey,
dysfunction.
hey, I got to be honest. It is the white man's fault because we stand there. Don't you please that woman? Don't do it. Don't you?
They are bad in bed. They are bad
Did you
in
see
bed.
that?
Women,
Yeah.
speak up. Speak up.
Did
Y'all
you
know,
see that
but-
video? Did you guys see that video of that black dude telling about, hey, white guys, y'all want to know some date ideas with black women and how to get a black woman? And he was being sarcastic. He put in quotes, feminine. He's like, one, go swimming.
Oh
And
yeah,
then
I see.
yeah, and then I was like, what? And there was literally a white guy watching the video. He was like shaking his head. He's like, uh-huh. And then when the video ended, and then the white guy went to the side, his wife was black. And they were both looking at the video like this guy was stupid. But they literally trying to jeopardize black women from even being with white men. Like, they're so bitter.
But
Yeah.
don't
You know, every
that-
time they
don't
like
spoil
bitter
that.
black women, all I see is it's not black women that's bitter, actually,
Hey.
because we're so masculine, yet you guys are literally trying to make other guys not want you.
Yeah. Hey, let me
But
address J10. She said, "What does this mean? You're talking about Team Swirl Day? I've declared October 8th Team Swirl Day. Yeah, I just made that happen. So and that's Captain Swirl prophecy. I made it happen. Okay, it is what it is. Today is Team Swirl Day. So yeah, I just wanted to clear that up.
Oh, I just wanted to say hi to DK.
Hi.
I just wanted to say hi because I didn't get to say hi to you earlier.
Hi, how are you?
Yeah.
Don't mind the picture.
you know, and there's this thing
I'm-
also. Hello? Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, okay. I said there's this thing also whereby black men, dusties, do not find black women appealing unless they have the validation of non-black men. For instance, a black woman, stunning black goddess marble statued black woman, could be in the vicinity. All the men are drooling and salivating over her. The dusty will not notice her until maybe her white partner who went to make a phone call outside comes back in. And all of a sudden the dusty is now alert. Oh, our sister. Oh, girl, you sure he gonna make you happy? Huh? You sure he knows what to do with all that? Can he handle all that? Can you handle all that? It's not about him. Can you handle all that? Because obviously you can't. You've not been handling it, okay? So I think that this is all part of it. And you also need to understand something that if a bunch of men say, you're worthless, you're this, you're bottom of the barrel, nobody wants you, blah, 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 rubbish, why are they trying so hard to discourage you from going to the men they claim they hate, okay? If I don't like something, if I don't want something, believe me, I will open the door, go away. I will be the first person to throw its toxic in the trash. So if they're working so hard to convince you about your lack of desirability, your desirability, and how much you're not wanted, to the point that white men have started speaking up. Stop speaking up for us, okay? We like black women. Stop speaking
Yeah.
up for us. Yeah, so that tells you that, if you have to work that hard to try to discourage women not to go away from you, then maybe you've been selling, I don't know, you're a snake oil salesman, okay? You're a snake oil salesman. Everything you're saying is a lie. Black women are highly desirable. That obviously that's already a given now, okay?
Yeah.
And dusties are the ones who are not desirable. They have to go out into a world every day that views them with disgust. You don't understand what that feels like. Black women, you don't. Yeah, you experience racism and whatever, but you're not actively looked at with disgust. Oh, this unproductive animals are in the vicinity again. What are they going to do? Are they going to act unhinged? Are they going to bring up some sort of drama? Is something going to happen? Whenever a black man is around, everybody's watching for the shoe. They're waiting for the shoe to drop because they know something is going to happen eventually. Some drama is going to come out of this, or some rubbish. He's just going to bring some very toxic energy that's going to disrupt whatever smooth flow is in that place. Okay, there's a reason you don't see a lot of black men in the south of France. There's a reason you don't see them in nice places, in the Monte Carlos and whatnot. Okay, there's a reason you see them where they are. All right, because it's just what it is here. Okay.
Can I ask a question?
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so if you didn't know me,
Hmm.
but like we didn't know each other, but then you're like walking in the market, right? Like it's a market thing. Like we didn't know each other, but then you're like walking. No, like you're walking. I'm a seller and you're the buyer. We don't know each other. You don't know anything. You don't know anything about my products or etc. Right? You're just looking for something useful, right? And you come across my cart and you see something you like, something that stands out to you. But me, on the other hand, I know that what you like has a big value, a higher value, right?
Hmm.
And it's probably out of stock. It's probably the last one, and I probably want it myself. And you're like asking me how to get it. I would tell you, oh, it's no good. No, don't get that. No, you're definitely wasting your time. This doesn't do you any purpose, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you know nothing, like you know nothing about me or the product, but you do see it's like probably useful and may come in use. Wouldn't you have a higher chance of believing me?
Mm-hmm.
It's like a yes or no.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's literally what it is. Like, you know, that's literally what it is. When someone sees something useful or valuable, they will literally try to degrade it for the
Mm-hmm.
other person to not show interest. So that's what's
Oh,
going on.
I
Yeah,
see what.
black women are. Yeah, if you took in the scenario, the chances would be like, okay, maybe you know what you're talking about, because you're around the product or et cetera, et cetera. Not saying black
Oh,
women are products. It's just like a scenario I'm saying. Whereas like they know black women are useful. They know black women are very intelligent. Black women are very
mhm.
hardworking. Black women are very cooperative. But if they somehow let black women, have this connection with other guys, they're going to lose that. They don't want to lose that. They want to have it to themselves. They can tell you, oh, you're this, you're that, you're masculine, or your hair is not graceful, it's not feminine. They could tell you all this and this and that. But deep down, they want you. You're their number one choice. It's just that
Yeah.
because they have this inner inferior complex that they don't want to get therapy for or to admit that, because it will come back to them being the problem and they have to take accountability, because they don't want to admit that, they would find a way to make you try to boost their ego. But the problem is black women are not boosting their ego. Black women are literally coming out and saying, you're the problem. This is why the community is bad. This is why we don't have this. We don't have that. But there are black women that, even if you do say that, you still don't date out. But, to the black women that do date out, these guys are hurt. They're hurt and they are mad that, you won't boost my ego. You won't make me feel like a victim. Then you won't feed into my inferior complex. So I'm going to try everything to keep you down. And you could make other black men think different, that they don't need to kiss my butt. And they could go to white men or Asian or etc. So, like I said, their number one choice is black women that usually don't want them. And so they would try to get on those black women and make those black women feel bad. Because if those black women are sparking interest, mammies will probably change their mammying ways and know better. So to answer your question, they could say you're not undesirable, but it's not true. They're just
Yeah.
saying that because they want to manipulate your actions. They want you to feel bad. They want you to contemplate to the stereotype of black women being angry and bitter, and make you feel bad about yourself and having confidence, and lower you to the point they can have access to you. They really know you're desirable. They just don't want you to know you're desirable because it brings a lot of competition for them, no competition, and that will show that they're the problem and they can't keep up with you. They won't give you what women actually need from men, what other women have from their men. And they know that. That's why they talk bad about you, even if they claim that you're undesirable and they wouldn't want you to go to other men, even though they call you undesirable, because they know it's not true. They don't believe their words. They just need you to believe it and have full self-esteem to chase them.
That only works for weak-minded people. That if you believe this foolishness that these dusties are putting out there. Another point being about black women being the reason why our community is the way our is. You cannot lay that blame on black women simply because we have had to take up the slack where black men have dropped the ball. And so if you don't like the way it's going, then step up to the plate like you're supposed to.
Hey, guys, I have a. Oh, sorry, I lighted myself. Okay, I have a Team Swirl song that somebody sent me. It's a short video. I can't get it on the StreamYard for some reason. I tried because it was a pretty good video. And in the spirit of Team Swirl Day, um, I'm going to let you guys listen to it. I know you've heard this song before. Would you like to hear it?
I would.
I would
Okay.
too.
Okay, let me see if I can
Definitely.
find it.
Found a phone in the middle of the road.
That ain't it.
Phone. I'm a brown girl. I like a little vanilla in my life.
Oh, wait,
I might
wait,
one
wait.
day
Hold
be a-
on, hold on.
Hey, I like that song.
Hey, okay,
I've
hold on.
heard
Let
that
me
song.
let me play it from the beginning. Let me get it on my microphone. I do it on the one that's not hooked. Here you go.
So I'm a brown girl. I like a little vanilla in my life. And I might one day be a white dude's wife. That's all right. Yeah, I got it. We found a phone in the middle of the road. What? Someone's phone.
So what do you think? Did you guys hear that okay?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I love that.
that little song has been attached to a lot of different
Yeah,
TikToks.
it
It's
has.
it's so cute though.
Yeah, it is.
Because I'm a brown girl. I like a little vanilla, and in my life, someday I might be a white dude's wife.
Yeah.
That's all
I
right.
Hey, so that's the kick off the Team Swirl Day, October 3rd. I just yeah.
Yay! Champagne time! Woohoo! Let's
Yeah.
champagne!
Uh-oh, somebody dropped off. Hey,
Handkerchief?
eh, if you guys drop off, just come back on. Sometimes StreamYards does that. And sometimes if you go to the comment, if you're on a cell phone, I've kicked myself off trying to do a comment too. Sometimes, but I just keep the link up there and stuff. So if you guys do drop off,
Sorry, I dropped off. Sorry about that.
oh, no worries. Yeah, I'll just have the link. You can come back on. I know.
Unfortunately, some days it's a part of the process.
Yeah, it's like I think there's some angry Karen in the background. Say, "Oh, I'll show you. Stop it! Stop it!"
Look, Brent, they just can't handle the amount of love that is on this channel.
I
That's all that is.
know. I
We're exploding the world with
know.
love. It's all good.
Yeah,
You know,
and
I was watching something on what platform was it? I think was it TikTok or YouTube? I don't remember. Anyway,
oh,
this fellow was talking about black women. Okay, he was trying to sell this Dusty was trying to sell black women to white men. Okay, and he's like, oh yeah, you'll love black women. Black women are this, black women are that. You know, I mean, it's time for everyone to swell. Blah, 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 blah. And then he now said, oh, you know, black women are very delicious down there. And not in those terms either. Ooh, I totally lost it.
So I'm a
And
brown
I'm
girl.
like, first of all, what gave this animal the sheer nerve to try to market black women to other groups of men? You idiot. We do not need your permission, okay? Dusty, we do not need your permission, okay? We're not seeking your validation, idiot, okay? If we listen to you, all right, we'll be barefoot, pregnant, shaved head, probably, and about 15 children at the age of 25, okay? If we follow you. So it's very weird now that they're now waking up and they're now trying to advise black men and so, white men on how to date black women. Hello, if you guys knew how to date black women, we wouldn't be divesting, would we? Right. So I don't really understand how anyone on this planet would want to listen would take advice about black women from a Dusty. The only type of black women Dusties know are those women that are shaking it up in the strip club. Okay, the women who can't say no, who will smile and nod and laugh as long as they can see a bit of green. It's all good. The only kind of women that black men know or can get along with are women that they have to pay for. If they cannot afford them, then they have to break them down, okay? Have to break them down mentally, crush their spirit, every relentless 247 negativity. Oh, are you going out like that? Why are you smiling like that? You bring a joke and say, hey, see what I saw on TikTok? This is hilarious. Oh, what is that? Always a 247 wet blanket, right? So if you were that good with black women wouldn't be walking away from you. All right, black women are easygoing women. I mean, we're very peaceful and chill. You know, just like the easy life. Okay, nobody wants to be doing all this Wakanda warrior shenanigans. All right.
Bullshit.
So yeah.
Well,
So
I mean, I hate to say it like this, but like I saw a TikTok, and unfortunately, I have to agree with it that like um you can break down black people into two groups: ghetto and non-ghetto, and the people that are not ghetto don't like the people that are ghetto. And I had to think about it, and I was like, that actually makes a lot of sense because the people that these black that these dusties are supposedly warning white men off of are not even the kind of women that white men want. So
mm,
it's you have to have a certain mindset, and the mindset that white men want are not these ghetto chicks over here that are doing all this shaking and writing these videos about just how to play games on men's minds and things of
mm,
that nature. It's just you either have class or you don't. And
mm,
like most people
Well,
on this channel have class.
well, I would
mm.
say there's a Brad I know that wears cornrows, and he'd probably want that. I I just laugh when I see that. I'm just like, okay. Um,
And you know, there are lots of there are lots of unresolved issues, especially this thing you mentioned now about Brad, Conroe Brad wanting
yeah.
black men. There, among black men, Dusty, there are lots of unresolved issues that they have, especially regarding their sexuality. Okay, I mean, I can put my hand on the Bible and say a really vast majority, tethering into the third quarters of the 100, are have an attraction to men. Okay, half of them are having relationships with each other. You know, black women, you haven't understood this yet. When you hear black men killing each other like flies, a lot of times you think it's all gang related. Not really, ladies. A lot of times it's lovers' quarrel. Okay, that's what's going on out there. You know, and so because of this unresolved sexual issues that they have, They want to poke each other. They want to poke men, you know. And then they're coming around with this, hey, I'm a hyper masculine guy. Hey man, I don't cry, I don't do shit, I don't eat the JJ, I don't do that stuff, man. I'm a big boy out here and all that horse shit. So, you know, when you see stuff like that, and then at the same time they know they want to bend over and give and have something poke one semen in their bottoms. Okay. So
Oh,
then you now have black women who are actually genuine, authentic. We love our skins. We love who we are. We love being women. We really love being women. Oh, Lord, we enjoy it. Okay. Then you have this confused group of people on this other side who absolutely hate the skin they're in because as men, they have a higher responsibility in society. Okay. You as women can get away. Women are not really, we don't have to build anything if we don't want to. Okay. We
yeah.
don't have to do anything we don't want to. You understand? We're doing it because but men have to do it. Okay. That's how the hierarchy is set on this planet. That's how it's established. Okay. That's why you see the white man has consistently dominated because he understands the power game, how it's played. Okay. And anywhere he goes to on this planet, he's acknowledged as a person. All right. Anywhere a dusty goes to on this planet, even if he's wearing, that's why they keep wearing all this flashy designer nonsense. You understand me? They want to show, look at me, I'm somebody. Okay, look at my Louis Vuitton belt. And all that nonsense. All right. But anywhere they go, they'll always be at the bottom of the ladder. So these men with their unresolved sexual issues now start taking out their frustration on straight women who like being women. It's now very frustrating. That's why you see they'll come out like, yeah, I earn more than you. You're wearing a weave and all that. Why do you care what I'm putting on my head, mate? How do you even understand what my lace fronts are? Like, how do you know what kind of nails I have on? And if that the shade of my eyeshadow is teal. How do you know these things, mate? Okay.
Well,
Why do you have this information?
you know what? I can never understand the weave thing. Okay, that I've seen guys go crazy about the weave. And maybe that's not your favorite hairstyle with your girlfriend or wife, but I mean going bananas over it like they're wearing the weave or I don't get it. I don't understand.
It's the scapegoating thing.
The thing about a weave is that if you don't like it, wait a couple of days. It'll change.
Yeah, it grows out pretty fast. I know
or,
when my wife
or wig, like that's why I'm saying, like, if you know me, or if you don't like the hair, that's fine. It can change.
yeah.
The hair can always change, and if anything, that should actually make you happy because you never know what you're going to get, so it'll always stay spicy.
Yeah, you know what?
Spicy.
You know what? I remember growing up just seeing black women's hair and I was just like, how do they do that with the braids and the different hairstyles? And I'm like,
Magic.
I was amazed. I thought that's awesome. These women can do this that no other women can. And I was yeah, I mean I don't know, it's exciting. When my wife gets her hair done, I don't know what she's going to get. I mean, she knows I like braids, so she does braids a lot, but she changes it up. And why not do that? I mean,
You never know which wife you're going to get because she's changing her hair.
yeah, yeah. But I mean, I never got the weave thing. Why are they so mad? I don't know.
The weave
They should
thing
be
is
happy that we're taking the effort to look nice, to
Yeah.
try to show you our the appreciation or whatever, that we love ourselves enough to actually want to look good.
No,
Why
they
not
just want the weave. They want the weave. They want to be wearing the weave and wearing the makeup.
Okay.
yeah, but this thing about weaves, yeah? It's all part of the scapegoating thing, okay?
Mm.
This misogynoir, I don't really call it misogyny. Well, yeah, it's misogynoir, but it's more of a mean girl sort of vibe. Okay, the weave thing is not because they hate weave. They don't hate weave. They want to use. They see that you putting on a weave. They see it as a sign of you hating that part of yourself, like you're
No.
hating your hair. So they're now coming through that like weave, weave, weave. They're trying to crush you through that angle. Okay, it's not about the weave. Okay, if you come out tomorrow and you change something about yourself that looks like the women they think or whatnot. Okay, they will come at you again. It's not the weave. It's like, oh, they're insecure about their hair. Because think about it. Even when black women carry their natural hair, okay, this dust pants are still going to say, oh, your hair is nappy. Ugh, why don't you go make your hair? Oh, look at her nappy hair. She's got a nappy hair. Look, they're walking contradictions, mate. Okay, just the easiest way to figure them out. Once you figured it out, it's so easy. Anything they tell you, look
Ugh.
for the angle. Okay, look for the angle. If you come out and you're crying and they're like, "Oh, you cry like a bitch, man." Look for the angle. Why is he mean to me? He's mean to me because he wants my self-esteem to be low. He's mean to me because he wants me to be broken. He's mean to me because he knows I'm above him. A man who's actively trying to tear you down knows you're above him. A man who's comfortable in his masculinity and stands by you as a woman wants to see you fly because he's like, yeah, let her fly. She's my woman. Touch the sky. And if you're like, hey, what do you think about that? It's like, that's too small. Go higher. I will support you. What do you need? Finances, moral, emotional support. You want to wake me at 3 a.m. to rub an idea? I'm here. That's what real men do. Okay. He doesn't think he's above you. He's there as an umbrella to protect you. Like, I'm here, I'm your man. Fly, I'll anchor you. And nothing is going to touch you. Okay. But when a man is around you and is actively trying to tear you down, you look at yourself in the mirror. You say, I know I'm the shiznit. I know I'm all that and a bag of diamonds. Why is this person not seeing me? Why is he not seeing my value? Why? What do I need to do? Should I cook for him? Should I bend this way for him? Should I do this? Should I go left? Should I go right? You'll be hitting your head on the wall, trying to figure out what it is you're doing wrong as a woman. Because as a woman, your man is meant to be happy. He's also meant to make you happy as well. It's very mutual. Okay. So if a man is actively trying to do that, or your dark skin is shit because he hates his dark skin. Okay. So knowing the hatred he has for his dark skin, he's trying to perpetrate that on you by making you believe that your dark skin is worthless. Okay. You have to be there in the gutter with him. You must be in the gutter with him. Okay. How can you love your dark skin? He cannot fathom it in his mind how you can look at your dark skin and say, oh, I love it so much. My brown, beautiful, gorgeous skin. He can't figure it out. He hates himself with a passion. Okay?
Wow.
And then you're there. He's trying to give you babies because he believes if he gives you babies as a single mother, you're completely devalued to other races of men. Now, other races of men have come on game now. Okay, you got babies? Come on, no problem. I'll take you as you are. So now that's now really backfiring. Because before they thought it was because black women were promiscuous and had low moral values and all that. But now black women are now, enough is enough. We're no longer going to cover up for these people. Okay? We're no longer going to have their back anymore. Enough is enough. We've been doing this for a long time. We've never got anything in return. We've been hurt, beaten, burnt, broken. We've been around people who we can never just be happy. We cannot smile. We cannot laugh. It's like we're in the presence of a ruthless, vicious dictator of a boss. We can't just rest. We can't make jokes. We can't be goofy. And then we now have to go extra hard, now have to become comedians, actors, drummers, and singers to entertain this godforsaken, low vibrational, wet blanket motherfucker. Okay, it's
Whoa.
not about you.
Whoa.
Ooh,
It's about
language.
them. They are motherfuckers.
Oh my
They
God.
know.
Language.
Hey,
They
hey,
know.
Stop
They
that.
Please, please,
hey,
know.
please.
They know they're at the bottom. They
hey,
know.
hey,
Oh
hey,
my
Please,
God.
hey,
We don't
language.
They
do that.
know. So
hey,
We don't
don't-
do that.
hey,
That's a little course for this channel.
We don't do that.
hey, just knock down the cussing.
Yeah, we
I'm
don't do
sorry,
that.
please. Sorry about that, please. I apologize for the cursing, please. Please,
Yeah,
no offense. Sorry.
Now, hear
But
me out,
you get my
sister.
point, right?
yeah, yeah.
Listen, my sister, my beautiful melanated sister, the black woman, the black woman, the black woman have the most beautiful hair. Now, when we black men said that we do not like the black women with the white, I said the white woman's hair. We do not like seeing the woman that oppresses you. The white woman hair have no business being on the black woman's head. We black
Mm-hmm.
men, it's not that we do not hate ourselves. We love ourselves. 90% of black men is with a black woman. We just love to see our beautiful melanated chocolate sister with their natural hair. We love the black women's hair. The black women's hair is powerful and God of all. Now, you may hear some selfish brothers, some selfish brothers. I said some
Mm-hmm.
selfish brothers. They hate on the black woman hair, but real black men, good black men, we love the black woman's hair.
Well, usually he's
Mm-hmm.
talking about between the black woman's legs, and he usually talks about what's that other thing he says? 5'5" thick in the thighs. He always says that. Talk about a fetishizer. I'm just saying.
It's a shame that a lot of times everything is broken down to a sexual level.
Yeah.
But on the hair thing, I really don't understand. People don't understand their culture or their history because
This is
black
just
people
too
have been
much.
wearing wigs for centuries. It's not even something that's new. um, before people knew what wigs were, black people were wearing wigs. So
Hmm.
this so you can't say it's not a part of our culture because it is. It's what we wore to protect our hair. So I don't understand why they don't understand their own history, their own culture. We're just doing what we've been doing for centuries.
Yeah. Well,
Mm-hmm.
there's a
Mm-hmm.
snow bunny crisis. Take
Mm-hmm.
I. Well, I want to thank Umar Tavius. Umar Tavius, is that right? Yeah. Thanks for dropping in. Hey, and be careful of those snow bunnies. They're dangerous. And I tell you, if there are secret agents. Okay, the government's doing this. They're taking snow bunny agents and they're sending them out there. So beware. I seen snow bunnies go through my neighborhood. So I just be cautious.
I don't understand you. What exactly are they trying to do?
What, snow
It's just
bunnies?
it's just a joke.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a joke.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Umar Johnson. He said in one of his videos that the government has white women as secret agents getting with black men to get into their bank account.
Oh,
It's part of the white power structure, I guess, and they're
yeah.
using white women as secret agents to date black men to get in their and marry them to get in their bank account. I don't know. I don't know
Ugh.
where he dreamed up
What
this.
bank account? What bank account?
Well,
What bank account?
I don't know, but that's
Anything,
that.
anything that makes them not take accountability. Now it's white women as agents. It was white men. It was black women. It was black women's hair. It was makeup. It was white supremacy. It was slavery. It was a bird flying. It was the trees. It was the wind. It was the air. Nothing but them. Now it's white women as agents. They cannot take accountability. Just say they should probably say, I just like white women because I like white skin and I think white skin is better than black skin and I hate myself Simple as that. Like we would probably be okay with it, but they keep creating excuses for everything, and I'm tired of it.
Yeah.
And they also have their own culture. They have their own culture, which has been cast, whereby to them, white women is the status among black males. That's their culture. Okay. So, and they want to impress each other the same way men want to have big companies, to outmoney the other man or have a big watch, which is better than the other one. To them, it's about white women, access to white women. That's the
Mm.
culture they have created for themselves. So it's not something that's going to go away anytime soon. And they know what it is, but they'll blame everybody else but themselves.
You know what?
Yeah,
I think it's a status thing too, because if you get the white woman, it's like you stick it to the white man, and you took his woman. Now, I guess you're superior now. I guess that's. I mean, because I've heard guys say this, like black women shouldn't date out, but black men can because he's taken something from the white man, his woman, which is so stupid. I'm just like, it's not that serious. If white men didn't want you with white women, they would make laws like they did in the past. But no, we open that up. I mean, hey, you want snow bunnies? Go get them. You want to go bowling for Becky's? Hey, have at it. Hey,
yeah. And the funny part is that they literally. Go ahead.
and yeah, and if that's what you want to do, hey, more power to you. In fact, a lot of white men try to show, hey, that hey, we're okay with it, like trying to uplift them. It's weird. It's, I
The
don't know.
weird part is that the original plan, because I find it funny they want to talk about history with black women, like when it's black women with white men. They always know history, subtly about history and Jim Crow and slavery, etc. But
Mm.
one thing they forgot to mention about this history of interracial stuff is that white men, beside loving v Virginia, the original purpose and reason why white men actually gave them permission to date white women was actually for them to breed themselves out. If they actually knew the history, the whole
Mm-hmm.
concept of letting integration happen, it rooted from South America. I think it was Brazil. The idea
Oh,
came
was
from
it?
that if you let if you integrate with black people, the men will probably favor the women, and they will then come in the culture and have kids with the women, with the white women. Then the white woman and him will teach the kid what is better. They will produce with white people. The mixed kid will produce with white people because they think white is better. So that's really why white men literally let them date white women, because white men saw it as if it's like okay, this is just how we'll get rid of you faster. We
Mm-hmm.
won't kill you. We'll just get rid of
Really?
you. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Especially actually the whole concept of literally integrating with black people was from South America, whereas South America
Oh,
was like, oh, our black people love us and they praise us and they think we're better, etc. So they gave America that concept, and so that's why white men allowed them, because white men thought maybe they would think white is better, they would produce with white people, which is sending the black race, and then the mixed kids
Mm-hmm.
will produce with white people, which is adding more to the white race and taking less of the black
Mm-hmm.
race. So every
Mm-hmm.
time they tell me history about why I shouldn't date a white man, I give them the same history back, that this is why you shouldn't date a white woman, because the original concept was for you
Mm-hmm.
to literally breed out, like get rid of yourself.
oh,
Mm-hmm.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I've heard something like that.
Um, Dear Brave had a question in the chat.
Okay.
Uh, but just so everybody know, if you have a question for Brent, make sure you put it in all caps so he can see it. Because otherwise it'll scroll by.
Oh, can you guys share with us the main subject of the conversation? White men, black women might have a relationship, and how they can solve and overcome.
The thing about it is that until racism is overcome, that
Well,
question can't be answered.
well, I mean, you can have a relationship with racism all around. It's racism can't do nothing to you unless you let it. I mean, really, in today's world, there can be racist. What are they going to do? This is the white supremacy of today. People talk about it all the time. Really, what it boils down to is a few weirdos getting together, getting drunk, and talking about how they're superior and how minorities are trying to destroy them. And it's almost like a victim type thing. It's just stupid. Um, but you can have a relationship with all that evil all around you. It's up to you guys to make it work. And yes, it'll be
Mm.
a little tougher than people of the same race because you're not going to get hate that you would. But you can still have a relationship. People have
Mm.
done it through the centuries,
Mm.
even with the worst type of racism. They make it work somehow. Um,
I think that you hit something when you said about victim mentality, because if you have victim mentality, you will see racism
mhm.
everywhere. It's not that racism doesn't exist.
Mm.
It's just how much do you let it impact your life? How much do you let it shape who you are? Because you can go to places that have racism, people can be racist towards you, but you don't have to live in that. You don't have to
Yeah.
you don't have to be a victim of that. You can always rise above. And when you rise above, you achieve great things.
Well, here's the thing, and people take it out of proportion too. I live in a town that has 100,000 people, right?
Hmm.
Now, let's say you get two white guys that go up on the hill and burn a cross, right? And say racial things and make a big scene, right? That's two people out of 100,000, and say 99.9% disagree with it. They're not racist, but it will be labeled a racist town because of those two individuals. And people will take that and blow it up bigger than it is. And a lot of times people see white people as racist because they've seen racist white people, but they associate all white people as that way. Does that make sense? And
Yeah,
Mm.
it's just a few, but they blow it up to where it's almost everybody. And
yeah,
I
because it's just you have this mindset of um a lot of people have been taught, unfortunately a lot of black people have been taught that white people are racist without
yeah
actually having conversations or getting to know anybody of a different race. And until we start having conversations, we're going to be in this status like, oh, this person is a racist or da da da. And it's just like, no, this person may not just be educated about this is a culture thing, or this we're
yeah.
not having conversations because we're more alike than we are different.
Hmm.
So, and it's not that, white people are racist. Black people, not only white people are racist, black people are prejudiced as well. And
Mhm.
so because we grow up with these prejudices, we see things through a certain lens, and until we take those race or those prejudice glasses off, we
Hmm.
are always going to see things through that prejudice lens. And then once you take
Mm.
those glasses off, you're just like, oh, this is not what I thought it was. And
Well,
it allows you to expand.
yeah. Let me give you an example.
Well,
Here,
well,
here,
I'm
here's the
sorry.
thing. You see, there could be a black man that says white people are racist. They're horrible, and nobody thinks twice about it because they say, okay, they are racist. So he. But if I say, okay, if you look at stats, uh, white men make better husbands than black men according to these stats, they'll call me a racist for that. Or even sometimes when you defend yourself. It seemed like a different lens, and it's not racist. If I'm quoting a stat and I believe it to be true, it's true, right? It's not an ideology I'm taught. It's a study I see. It's stats I see.
Hmm.
Um, but
When you come with the stats, it's hard to say that you're a racist
it
because,
is.
well, hey, this is what it is, and you can go see it for yourself. I'm not making these things up. These are facts that are out there in the world, and if you would do your research, you would find the same thing. But the thing about
Mhm.
it is that if you are not willing to take your prejudice lens off, then you will see everything through the that lens. And the thing about it is that um as Black people, a lot of times we are too scared to take those lenses off, because then we have to hold ourselves accountable in a world that, as long as it's set up to be racist, then if you're not achieving things that you should be able to achieve, then you can blame it on racism versus the fact that you're lazy or you don't have the will to do the things that you want to do, to think, because nobody is stopping you but you.
Mhm.
And you can't
Mhm.
continue to try to blame it on somebody of an opposite race. But the fact of the matter is that we live in a world that if you try hard enough, you can overcome just about anything. And while there may be some people out there that have faulty views, there's for every one there may be five or six more that don't, and you can use those people to go around the people that are causing you blockage.
Yeah.
So there is no excuse, and as long as you have those prejudice lenses on, you can use it as an excuse to not do the work.
Mhm.
To make
Mhm.
matters worse,
Mhm.
if you like literally, if you're not, to make matters worse to this, if you're not playing the whole victim card constantly, Black people will find a way to say you're not Black, as
Mhm.
if
Mhm.
Black, you're,
Mhm.
it's annoying.
Yeah.
It's annoying. If I say I don't face much racism around white people, they're like, well, then you're not Black then. Or it's like, well, you wasn't raised in a Black neighborhood. And it's like, it's stupid. Stupid. I don't know why they do that. As if Black is weakness, or it's, you're supposed to be a victim constantly because you're Black. And I think that's prejudice. I think that's what you were saying. In a way, they view Black as being weak. In a way, Black people isn't see Black as
Mhm.
being.
It's I think
Mhm.
the Black people that have taken off the prejudice lens are the Black people that are succeeding.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And because when you realize that you do have allies where you go, because not everybody is prejudiced, then
Mhm.
you can achieve more. But if, as long as you're resting in the, oh, I can't achieve anything because they're all against me, that's not necessarily true. Because there have been times where I've been in situations where I thought that I would have nobody to back me up, and it was somebody that was white that actually backed me up. So I can't I can't live in that I can't live in the land of prejudice and blame um white people for my achievement, because in my experience I have had more Black people try to keep me down than I've had white people try to keep me down. And
Mhm. Mhm.
because um like when I was in high school, I had a Black guidance counselor who basically told my father I wasn't going to graduate from high school when I could have graduated in my junior year. So it's, or tell me, oh, don't take Spanish. You're not smart enough to take Spanish. Take
Mhm.
course instead. So, like, you're not going to get into college, so go ahead and go into ROTC. And
Mhm.
these were Black women telling me these things. So they're trying to set me up for my detriment before I even get started. And you have to be aware that not everybody that has the same color for you is for you.
Okay.
Mhm.
Hey,
Sometimes
I got a
it-
I got a comment here. So, in other words, the only subject of contention is white men and black women can have a relationship.
is racism. Um,
I don't know
Their
what.
perception, their perception of racism.
hmm
Well, it can be an issue, but if you're,
Or it could be somebody else's trauma because I've gone out
it's
with a white man and like I've gotten you get the eyeball and it's just like live your life. Stop hating on me because you can't be me.
yeah,
Um,
Mhm.
yeah,
and
Mhm.
it's just you have to have a level of confidence that a lot of people don't love themselves enough to have.
and you know
Mm.
what? And here's the thing: I hate talking about racism and stuff, but it's brought up so many times. Every time I do a video, a live stream, people bring up racism, and the people that are against black women and white men relationships, they throw racism at you right off the bat. Every time I have a discussion, slavery's thrown in there, Jim Crow's thrown in there,
Mhm. Mhm.
racism, and it's like, come on. And and then if you say, okay, well, I wasn't around during that time, they say, well, that's what racist white people say. Oh, okay, so what do you want me to
Mhm.
do? Admit I did it? Is that what you want? Well, your ancestors, okay. So is that me? That's a different person. Um, you're responsible for your own actions on this earth.
Mhm.
hmm
And the thing of it is you when you're in an interracial relationship, racism is going to be brought up. I guarantee. I'm going to tell you, it's going to happen. It's going to be thrown in your face because somebody don't like that you're together, and they're going to throw that at you. And when they have a
Mhm.
debate with you, they're going to throw racism. You know why? Because it knocks you off balance. Because then you get off topic, and then you start defending yourself. Then you're that's what they use because it's a touchy subject. You know, it brings up emotions. Black
Mhm.
people get emotional and white people get defensive. And it's like we're not solving nothing
Mm.
at all. We're just talking about the past. And
hmm
I'm not
Mm.
trying to minimize anything that happened. I'm just saying we're in today's world, we got to live together. And interracial relationships, when you both think that way, you're going to be just fine. All this other racial nonsense is it ain't going to be nothing. So I mean,
Mhm.
you can get around it. Um, as long as you love each other, that's what counts. So,
Exactly. And the thing about it is, we live in an age where nobody likes to take accountability for their own stuff.
Mm.
yeah,
If
I
people
mean,
would start taking accountability for their own stuff, we would be in a much better place.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. But
Mhm. Mhm.
at the end of the
And
day, at the end of
True.
the day, we're
so.
in this together. We got to live together. This is our country. Whether you like it or not, you're part of it. It's
Mhm.
your home and it's mine. So, what are we going to do? We're going
Mhm.
to get together?
And
Or are we just going to be stupid? I'm just, yeah.
mm.
Sorry,
you know this thing.
I, I don't mean to go down a rabbit hole because I wanted to celebrate Team
I mean,
Swirl night and we got
unfortunately, unfortunately, it has to be addressed because it's like
Yeah.
you cannot go into a society and have some. I hate to say this, but it's like if you go out into society with somebody of a different race, somebody's going to say something.
yeah,
And
Yep.
you have to put up your mental barriers so that you can be prepared for somebody to say something. Or if they don't say anything, then they're going to look at you. And
yeah,
you have to learn how to get thick skin and ignore the foolishness. Create your own
Mhm.
inside jokes so you could still have your living your best life and still have them hating on you because you know what? They can't have they don't have a good life because they can't get past their own stuff.
yep,
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
if you can't get past your
Mhm.
own stuff, you gonna always be a hateful person. If you can't
Yeah.
live with an attitude of gratitude, you're gonna always be looking at other people and hating your life because your life is not like theirs. If you live in an attitude of gratitude, be grateful for everything that you have. You can't be unhappy. You can't be a hater
Mhm.
because you're happy with what you have.
Yeah.
Mhm. Mm.
People like
And
drama.
this thing Brent mentioned about not wanting to discuss in depth about the racial dynamics. The racial dynamics exist, especially both parties are coming from two different races.
Hmm.
So even though it's a touchy subject and it's sensitive and it's caused a lot of pain and whatnot in the world, if two people from different racial backgrounds come together, they have to sit down and talk about it. They have to understand the dynamics, the microaggressions, and whatnot. Okay, that's that. And then Afra Angelique also mentioned, or I think Afra Angelique mentioned something about accountability. People not wanting to take accountability. The thing is, with accountability, if you don't take accountability, there's no way you move forward.
Yeah.
No
Mm-mm.
way. No way. If you don't say, you know what, this is what I've done. This is why I keep getting this result. If I want a different result, I have to do something different. Okay, how does the world work? What do I need
Mhm.
to see? How do I need to adjust myself? Obviously, my way isn't working. And if there is a larger group that's making things work and it's more organized, maybe I need to find a way to see how. That's obviously the
You know
society.
what? You know what? Now that you've said that, I just thought about something. And tell me if you guys agree or not. I think that black women and white men relationships work because I think we can take accountability easier than our counterparts.
I think
And
that you're right.
because look at it. I mean, black women are beat down and shamed, and things are put on their shoulders. But if you look at white men, who's at fault in society? White men. I mean, look at history. Who's at fault? White men. Everything that happens, it's our fault. So, um, and I'm just saying this. This is, what a lot of people say. So, if you're getting beat down with that, you're like, okay, well, how do I improve? So you're kind of, in a way, kind of forced to take accountability, even if it's not your fault. Does that make
Mhm.
sense?
It
And
makes perfect sense.
so then we're constantly trying to improve so we
Mhm.
we can better ourselves. And I've always said,
Exactly.
and
Yeah.
I've said this many times, and I believe it to be truth. Sometimes it's better that it is your fault in a way because you don't have an excuse. You have to fix it.
Mhm.
But if it's not your fault, and sometimes you could use an excuse.
Hmm.
I remember my father would always, when he would never allow me to have an excuse, even if it wasn't my fault at all. And I never understood that, but I kind of understand it in a way, because if you get in that mindset that it's not your fault,
Mhm.
that other things can drift that is your fault, but you use that excuse, and it comforts you. I mean, psychologically, we don't want to be wrong. We don't want it to be our fault. And if there's a way we can say it's not our fault, we take it. That's human nature.
Hmm.
Mhm. And
Hmm.
that's why a lot of us are on an insanity cycle, as I call it, because you keep doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. And when
Hmm.
you have to be self-aware, and so many people are not self-aware, and they don't take accountability for the things that they do, and so you wind up on this vicious insanity cycle.
Hmm.
Once you get off of that insanity cycle, your life becomes infinitely better.
And and
Hmm.
and here's another thing. I think another reason our relationships work, because in a way we're beaten down by our counterparts.
Mhm.
Hmm.
And then so
Yes.
when we get together, it's nice to just
I agree.
be
They have
be
both our counterparts are ungrateful.
it,
Brent is
it,
spitting facts tonight.
it's like, gosh, this is awesome. And I've always said that I've always felt more comfortable with black women, and yeah, I'm more attracted to black women also, but um it just seemed pleasant being around black women. And It just is. And I don't know what it is. I guess black women just have a sweet spirit about them. They got a big heart.
Mhm.
But it just
Mhm.
seems that, I mean, there are some black women that'll be mean to you and rude, but for the most part, black women are pretty reasonable and they're pretty easygoing, and
Mhm.
and it's nice to be around them. It really is.
And
Mhm.
and we will be a partner to you instead of a detractor to you.
Yeah.
Because
And, and
when you come home and the world has beaten up on you, we love up on you to prop you back up.
oh yeah, my wife does that all
And
the time. I
versus you come home and why you didn't do this and why you didn't do that, or this is why you can't do that. Instead of getting beat down when you come back in the house, you get built back up so you can go back out there, face another day, and do what you got to do. And that's what we do. At least if you get a good one anyway.
yeah.
Mhm.
Well,
Mhm.
The
I've
other
said
side
this
of
I've said this over and over. My wife has lifted me up, and just by her love and how she has my back, it's I've done some things I never thought I could do. And
Hmm.
it's like the love I have for her is like I have no choice but to be successful. Because if I'm not, I just feel like I'm letting her down because she's got so much faith in me. And it's like, I don't know, it's just an awesome dynamic.
Hmm. Because as a woman, you are supposed we like men are to protect and provide. And women, we protect and provide. We just do it in a different way than men do it. So if anything, we both protect and provide, but but a man does it in a physical sense, and a woman does it in a mental sense.
Mhm.
So that's and because we are white men are known to do that in a physical sense, they know that that's their job, and black women, we know that that's our job. We fit together perfectly because we balance each other out.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, and it
Mhm.
seems like we know what we want. When I got married, it, here's the thing, and I remember my father told me, he says, "Well," he says, "you have my blessing. Sandy's awesome. She'll be a good wife." But he says, "Not everybody will understand, your special relationship." And he says, "You're going to have some problems, and you got to stand with your wife no matter what." And I just said, "Too easy." And he looked at me weird, like, "What?" I said, "Too easy. I got this." And the thing of it is it wasn't that I was cocky or
You
thought it
just
wouldn't
knew.
be. I just knew that it's going to work. I just and it's funny, like my father I talked to recently about that. And he says, "Yeah, he said I couldn't believe you said that, but now I understand. Your marriage was meant to be,
Mm.
and it is too easy because you love each other."
Yeah.
Um and and it was easy, and it my marriage was easier than I ever thought it would be. When we got married,
Mm.
it was like we'd been married for years. We just did it.
Mm. You
You
guys
know?
clicked.
Yeah, it just clicked together. And even to this day, we love being around each other. And I can't wait to get home to my wife and stuff. And it just meant to be. It just, a
It
blessing is a blessing. How can I explain it? It just,
it is, and you can see when we see you guys together,
Mhm,
it is so amazing because you guys feed off of each other and you love on each other, and it's
Mm.
it's so you can see the love even when y'all are in separate rooms.
mhm.
You guys, you see it, and it's a beautiful thing to see you guys together. It's so beautiful.
Mhm.
Oh, thanks.
It's like
So
I said,
I
you
got
guys
to
are
go
the
to I have to
blueprint
get to
couple
bed
goals.
now.
Oh, okay. Hey, thanks for coming on.
Mhm.
Okay.
Rashik, it's good talking to you.
Be blessed.
Okay.
Have
Okay.
have a good night.
Have a good
You
one.
too. Bye.
Uh,
So,
okay. So okay, we lost two. Everybody's going to bed.
well, I can't say that I mean there's so much that I appreciate this channel for because it has brought so many good things into my life.
Oh,
So,
I appreciate that.
you have a question.
I do.
Uh-huh.
Oh, Roadrunner, I had a white guy just watching me at church in the parking lot. He parked next to me and never said nothing. It was so disappointed. I wanted to say hello. I date white guys. Oh, um, yeah. I've look. I've seen things like you're saying. In fact, I was like that. Um, and I hear a lot of people talking about that. White guys maybe looking at you, not saying nothing. Um, maybe wink or smile at you, or and black women get confused. Like, what is this guy doing? Some might even think it's weird. They're being weird or kind of creepy. Um, I would say this does happen, and a lot white guys he might be afraid to approach you, but he admires you. Um, I don't know. I would say he needs to say something to you, but I remember there was a time I was taking a college class and I was looking at a black woman and I didn't say nothing to her and I was just and she confronted me and I had to tell her, that I was attracted to her and why I was staring at her. And it actually turned out pretty well, but I look, um he might be waiting till the right time to approach or talk to you. That's what it sounds like is happening. He's watching you. He pulls up beside you, but he just don't have the courage to say anything yet. That's what I think's happening. Um, because I've been there. I've been where I would stare and not do nothing until I got my courage up. Um,
We got to start boosting these white men's to tell them it's okay to approach.
yeah. I mean,
Maybe we
how
can
how
figure out a
young?
bat signal or something.
Yeah, right. A different.
Some kind of call to let them know it's okay to approach.
Just roll down the window. Hey, go ahead and approach. you're you're clear for approach.
Because there are a lot of ladies out here that would love to talk to a white guy, and we but like for me, I will never approach a
Mhm.
guy, no matter what color they are. I mean, I'll give them the eye and a smile, but I will never approach because I'm not built like that.
Yeah, and you shouldn't have to do that. He's got to have his courage up. And I'd say, white guys, just do it. Just be like Nike. Just do it. I mean,
Because this is the thing, if you don't have the courage to actually come and approach me, how are you going to have the courage to stay in a relationship?
uh, yeah. Should you wear a sign? Yes, ladies. And I'm selling T-shirts that say go ahead and approach for yeah, a little pricey, 59.95, but it's really worth. No, just joking.
Brett will come out with some merch.
Yeah, go ahead and approach. Or you could flip it. You could turn the shirt around and say, "Do not approach." Hey, if you're not interested, good way to keep them away. Or I can
I'm
make shirt a
have a
shirt that
shirt that
says
says I'm approachable.
I'm approachable, or
Yeah.
oh yeah, or this ain't happening, or you get your acceptance or rejection shirts.
You
but
have been accepted into the club.
but you better wear the right shirt. You might get the wrong guy approach.
This is true. Because it's not like you can put your preference on a T-shirt. Because if you do, that's inviting a whole different type of trouble.
Oh gosh, yeah. You'll be attacked for that one. I, I, I
It's
hey, I had to do that for I had to do that and make a video about it and put a shirt on says I love black women and just walk through the mall and just see what reaction I get just by myself. That,
I, you know what? I would actually pay to see the reactions on that one.
that might be an idea.
Oh my goodness.
I put a shirt. Sorry, Becky, I love black women.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, that I would get hate for that one.
Oh my god.
Oh,
You would probably make the news for that one. Oh my goodness.
uh,
I can't even with that one because like local white men walking through the mall bowling.
you know what? You know who I'd get trouble from? It wouldn't be white women, it'd be white men that would be mad at me.
Oh,
I'd probably get punched by one of them for wearing a shirt like that. I mean seriously.
wow. That that is just it's mind-boggling.
um
You should
yeah,
actually coin the phrase "bowling for Becky's" and
yeah, bowling for Becky's. Hey, you know what? Look, I'm all for interracial relationships across the board.
mhm.
And like I said, and I tell these guys because they'll say, "Well, I like white women." I'm saying that's great. You know, go ahead and go bowling for Becky's. You know, Uh, and look, a bowling alley is where Becky's hang out. I'll tell you which ones they're at.
Oh, can you find a Brad at a bowling alley?
Yes, you can.
Okay, ladies. So we got two places we gotta go. We gotta go to Home Depot and bowling alleys.
Yeah, but it depends on what type of guy. You might find these old retired fat guys that just like to get together, drink beer, and go bowling. So I don't know if you really want to go to a bowling alley. Um,
Okay.
living for Latasha.
Living for Letitia. Okay. All right, Michael Ray. I see you.
Yeah.
Now,
Climbing mountains for Akeisha. You know what? I should wear a shirt like that and go through a shopping mall just to see people's reaction.
you probably be on a few people's YouTubes or
Yeah,
TikToks.
it'd probably go viral.
It's entirely possible.
Or you know what? I should get like a bullhorn and go to a public area and just say say how much I love black women. Just-
Britt, you were you were trying to be on somebody's you trying to be on somebody's TikTok.
yeah. I would get hate and I'd get a lot of love though. I think if I did that.
I think it would be a 50-50 mix
Yeah, it would.
because you would get a lot of love from the interracial couples
Yeah.
situation. But you have decades of experience now, so
Yeah.
we can trust your opinion.
Yeah. You know what? I Hey, you want to know how people feel about you in a racial sense?
Hmm.
Do this. If you guys want to find out, okay, if you're a black woman, go to other black people and say, "Do you love white people?" And
Oh
get
my
one
God.
of your white friends to talk to other white people and say, "Do you love black people?" See what their reaction is.
Oh my goodness. You try to start firestorms.
No, that wouldn't start. No, that wouldn't start a firestorm. Would it? I mean, a black woman talking to another black woman or a black man say, "Hey, do you love white people?" Just
I think you don't even know the
no,
firestorm.
no. You know where I got that. I was going through YouTube and this guy
Mhm.
named Jesse Peterson was out on the street asking black people, "Do you love white people?" And I was rolling laughing because the reaction was like, "Uh." No? Or they were, like, confused. They didn't know what to say.
Like, why?
What? It was no, that would be a good experience. But, I mean, if 2 black people are talking, say, "Hey, do you love white people?" They might think you're crazy, you know
Definitely.
but I think a lot of white people say, "Well, of course I love black people."
Or you'll get the face.
Or they'll be like if they don't, they'll be like, "Huh? What? What are you asking me?"
You'll get the
What do you
face
mean?
or the walk away, or the face and the walk away, because that's not a that's
Yeah,
not a comfortable question.
that has happened on Jesse Lee Peter. Yeah, I watched a video he did, and I was rolling laughing because he asked them, and they were like, it was like a deer in the headlight look. Like they couldn't believe he asked them that question, and they didn't know what to say. It was just the reaction was so funny.
Like sometimes, um, but but you know what? I like in general. I like people sometimes. I don't like so that for that's just because ignorance knows no color.
Yeah.
So when you're foolish, I don't. I have to walk away. I have to shake my head and walk away. So my answer to that question would be like sometimes.
Or you just say, I don't like people, period. So
Exactly.
that would
Yeah.
squash it, I guess. Then
Yes, because I have a shirt that says it's too peoply outside. Because I'm an introvert.
yeah, I just you know, no, but in all seriousness though, we got a blessing and we need to embrace it. And you know what? And as people, if they find true love, be happy for them,
Yes,
regardless where it comes from.
love is always worth the risk.
But because listen, we're in our community, we're going to stick to it. And this is my community. This ain't a white community. I mean, I'm in an interracial community. This is home for me. So when you attack black women, I'm going to react. And and if it's coming from a black man attacking black women, yes, I'm going to say something because you're attacking. I got a black wife and 2 biracial daughters, so it's like you're attacking my family.
They are,
Literally. So of course I'm going to stand up for my family.
of course. You wouldn't be you if you didn't,
Yep.
because you strike me as a man that is all about his family. So, and the love that you have for your wife is so evident, and it's just that's the goal because the way that you love your wife is the way a lot of women would want to be loved.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
just
she makes it easy for me, I tell you. I mean,
yeah,
since the
Sandy is amazing.
she is. Oh my goodness. You know what? I could
I want to
have
be like Sandy when I grow up.
I could have the worst day and she can make me happy.
Hmm.
Just by talking to me. It's like, it's I don't how can I explain it? It's such a blessing. Um I remember when I had my tumor, I had to get my tumor removed. I had a tumor in my head And I was crazy because I think it was pushed against my brain, so I was out of character. I was angry.
Mhm.
I was aggressive.
Mhm.
Um, I was
Talking
get
out the side of your neck.
Oh yeah, I was trying to get in a fight with anybody I could, and that's not me. I'm a peaceful guy,
Mhm.
and I was just out there, right?
Yeah.
And
It's
and
shocking
I
to
wasn't
it's
yeah, I wasn't feeling good. I wasn't in the right type of mindset. I just didn't care.
mhm.
Um, but somehow my wife calmed me down just by talking to me. And you
She's
know,
your security blanket.
yeah, and it was like, and this was in the emergency room, right? And they were
Mhm.
watching me, and they knew what was going on with me. They just didn't want me to hurt anybody or hurt myself or so. But when they finally give me medication and calm me down, and I was thinking clearly because I had to go into surgery right away. The tumor was too big,
Mhm.
and they told me I had a brain tumor, and this is the first thought I had. I thought, okay, this is it. Um, and I told my wife, and I was like, I said, I told her I love you, and tell the kids I love them, and I just told her that, she's been such a blessing to me, and I said, if this is it, it's okay. God has blessed me more than I deserve, and then she started crying, and she gave me that look that, and I always talk about this look. Like she gives me that look
Mhm.
where tears will run down, and there'll be a sadness, but she'll try to give me a little smile. And I always remember that look because every time when I was in the army, I got deployed and had to go. She always gave me that look, and it was like a look of sadness,
Mhm.
a look of love, and a look like I'm here for you. And and I thought that was, and you know what, the crazy thing is at that time I was okay with it because I know I've been blessed by my wife. So if God cuts my life short, I can't complain at all. I can't. I've had the best of the best, and I I never deserved it, but I got it. So I'm thankful with that. And but anyway, um it turned out to be it was non-cancerous.
That's
It was a tumor. It was growing. It had to be taken out. And so that's scary in itself. Just knowing they got to go inside your brain, and how they did it is they go through your nose and they take it out because it was behind the optic nerve, and
wow.
it was affecting my eyesight too. My how do you say that? Peripheral vision.
Peripheral vision. Yeah.
Yeah, it was gone
Wow.
totally, and I was seeing double. It was everything was messed up. But I mean, I had that surgery, and I was fine after that. It was everything went back to normal, and but it messed up my body. My body was all out of whack. Um, chemically it messed me up. I gained a lot of weight. It threw my thyroid out of whack. So I just gained massive amounts of weight.
Wow.
Um, and my thyroid's still messed up. I got to take medication for it, but it just it just threw my whole body out of balance for that tumor. And I think it was like 4 centimeters, which they said is humongous. But um, they rushed me into surgery over it, so it wasn't. But I came out of it and it was fine. And I never felt so good in my life. I was just so happy.
That's so good.
And yeah, but I mean, my wife can calm me down when nobody can. She's just that awesome. Um, but I'm not crazy like that. That was just a weird time in my life, you know. But
I understand. It's like my cousin. She had developed a brain tumor, and she was so totally not herself.
yeah,
And sometimes that can be scary because if you're not realizing that that person has a brain tumor, and the stuff that they start saying, and it's just like, who is this person? And because there's a complete personality change. Um, so that I know that probably was scary for her, but you guys come through, and God is blessing your lives, and
yeah,
you can see it.
yeah. Swaze, what was discussed earlier? What did I miss? We're talking about Team Swirl Day. Today is Team Swirl Day. So happy Team Swirl Day. October 8th, I just declared it as Team Swirl Day. Um, so enjoy the festivities. Um, maybe when this channel grows bigger, I could throw a party somewhere and
Look, we can have a virtual party.
yeah, there you go.
But look, that brings me back to what I said couple months ago. We need to have a convention, a swirling convention, because there's so many people on your channel that I think if met in person, you could create a whole bunch of love connections.
Oh yeah, I think I could. Yeah, we'll call it the Swirl to Investment Party.
Yeah, it's especially since the you have two people that met and fell in love from your channel that are flying off to the UK right now.
Yeah, I wonder if they landed yet. I
I'm not,
I
I'm
wonder
not
what
sure
what time is
because
it in the UK? It's early in the morning, I think.
it's 5 hours ahead of me, and it's one, so it's probably about six, almost 6:30.
Yeah, because I think they're what 6 hours ahead or something.
Well, they're 5 hours ahead of me, so I think you're 2 hours behind, so it would be 7 hours ahead of you.
Oh, okay. So yeah, it'd be about 5 in the morning. I think somewhere around there.
Yeah, like six or something. Yeah, Swayze, SwirlCon. We have our own swirling convention.
Yeah, the swirling and you know what? We need to promote the swirl and yeah, we need to do that. And I'm going to see about sharing that video if I can. I tried it.
It's there's so much that we talk. Oh, Swayze, we talked a lot about interracial dating tonight, and accountability. But we are. I think that your this is Brent. This is your ministry.
You think so?
I think that this is your ministry because what you are doing is showing that Black women that they are loved and appreciated, and um, at a time where this just doesn't happen, especially online. Um, you created a safe space, and for the longest time, even if somebody was curious about interracially dating,
Hmm.
they never would do anything about it. And just like discovering your channel, and just like the first time I ran across your channel, and it was talking about how much you love Black women and how white men love Black women. And it was just like, it was like a door opened up in my mind, and
Hmm.
it encouraged me to actually step out of my comfort zone to date a white guy. And though it didn't work out, it still was a good experience because it taught me that dating outside of my race is really different, and different in a good way. Um,
Awesome. You you know what? There's hundreds of thousands of people that wanted to date interracially but never did it. I get so many people that tell me, you know what? I would have dated a black woman. I wish I did, but I just never did. And there's black women that say they would have done it too, but just didn't do it because, the family didn't like it or they wouldn't accept it.
Hmm.
So they go through life wondering, what if? And
Yeah.
some are brokenhearted and they'll say, you know what? I wish I would have stayed with her because she loved me or he loved me or you know I get it from both sides and these people are saddened like I messed up. I threw away a good thing because of that racial dynamic, because I was afraid, because I couldn't get out of that comfort zone. I let a good thing go to waste. I let a good thing go. And I tell you, if that's if you're in love with black women, that's okay. And you're a white guy, I mean, as long as you do it the right way, as long as you do it for love, marriage, hey, there's nothing wrong with that. Or the other way around. There's nothing wrong. You're not a sellout because you fall in love with someone that's a different skin tone as you. That just
Hmm.
means you love them. That's all. And there's
That's
nothing wrong with that. And in fact, if more people open up their options and learn to love each other, the world would be a better place.
it would be a better place because it's just but my experience also taught me is that sometimes even if you go with a different ethnicity, it doesn't necessarily mean that the problems are going to be any different. Um, so that's why I've gone back to my mantra of character over color, because no matter what color they come in, you may or may not receive the same kind of you may not have the same you may not have the same experiences, but like character is going to be a game changer one way or the other, because if you don't have good character, you're not going to be able to hold on to the good things that life will present to you.
Yeah.
Because he was he's a good man, but he's so damaged mentally, and he doesn't want to do the work. And it's one thing to say that you're going to do the work, it's a different thing to actually do the work.
Mhm.
Because you can say you're going to do the work initially, and then when somebody calls you on it and you get upset about it, no thanks. I don't have time for that foolishness. I
Yeah.
have what I have time for is somebody that is actually, if you say, I don't know how to do this, and I offer to help you, and you still don't want to do it, then
Mhm.
you truly didn't want to do it. You just said it to get my attention.
Yeah.
So that's why I say it's important to vet. Vetting is so important.
Yeah. And that's the thing. If we chose character over color,
Hmm.
how would America look right now?
I
Let's
think everybody would be close to the same complexion.
probably, yeah.
There would be a lot less hate in this world.
And and here's my thing. If you love each other because of their character or we just love each other and it don't matter who you're with,
Hmm.
there would be more interracial relationships, a lot more.
Yes.
And you know what? And would that be a bad thing? And people say, well, black people would disappear, white people would disappear. And I would say, uh, okay, so what?
Exactly.
We're still people. At the end of the day, we're just people. That's why
It,
I, I,
if you
I
think about it, we were all the same until the Tower of Babel
yeah,
separated us.
yep,
So we we would just go back to our natural state.
We would go back to what the original man and woman looked like, because Adam and Eve had all our DNA.
Hmm.
So I get, we would be a brown color, because that makes sense, because you mix all the DNA.
If you mix all the colors together, you get black. So that just means that you would get a variation of of a
Okay,
shade of black.
okay, so we all turn black. That's fine too. I don't care. We could turn whatever.
But I mean, so we would all become a various shade of brown. So
Yeah, we turn. Okay, I'll go for that too. I don't care. I just, you know what? Hey, if we could live in a perfect world like that, hey, that would be awesome. You
it,
know?
it would be, and then you couldn't tell if everybody's the same color, then you can't tell what ethnicity, what this that you can't on looks
Hmm.
um, decide whether or not you're going to like somebody. You have to actually get to know that person to decide whether or not you don't like them.
Yeah. Well, you know what? People are so corrupt. It don't matter if we look the same. We'd still find ways to hate each other.
This is probably true.
We would find ways to find something wrong with each other, and it just human nature, just sinful nature of people.
Yeah, it's it's just everybody everybody has a different take on things, but if we just
Yeah.
got to know each other individually, because instead of people just make blanket statements, and blanket statements don't apply to everybody.
Yeah.
Just like you can't say all black men are bad because all black men are not bad.
Mm-hmm.
You can't say all white men are racist because all white men are not racist.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to learn how to stop making these blanket statements and take people on an individual basis. Um, so if we just took everybody on a face to face on an individual basis, because you can't, and everybody has their different traumas, so they'll react to things differently. So
So yeah, you're right.
everybody's an individual, and until we stop, until we take these prejudice glasses off, we're not going to be open to seeing people as they truly are. That's all.
Oh gosh.
Now
No,
you're getting tired and it is
I
late.
am. Yeah,
So
we
maybe
need
it's
to.
time maybe it's time to say goodnight. Now it's time to say goodbye to all our company.
MIC. Uh, all right. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and close it. Happy Swirl Day. Uh, I just declared the 8th is Team Swirl Day, so it is Team Swirl Day. Um, and I don't care if Biden allows it. I'm declaring it. uh, can somebody reach the White House and have them make a law, or Congress, or somebody, that we
Hey,
can have Team Swirl Day?
it okay. It's anything is possible.
Yeah.
Look, with so many people, look, so many black women having white husbands in Congress now, maybe it'll happen.
Hey, you know what? Oh yeah. Well, we got two in Supreme Court. Uh, we just need to talk to Clarence and Kataji and say, you know what? You're swirling, so we got to have a swirling day. Uh, now they got to get the other, the other what? How many are in Supreme Court? 9. So they got to persuade
We have
7 of them.
two interracial couples
Uh,
on the Supreme Court.
yeah.
Ironically, a black woman and a white man, and a black man and a white woman.
Yeah, you got both dynamics there. Yeah,
So yeah, I don't, and all these people that say we're gonna go and try to overturn Loving versus Virginia. Good
yeah,
luck
good.
with that.
Yeah, that ain't going to happen.
Mm-mm.
Uh, yeah, that's crazy, isn't it? That some people would say that. There's a congressman that said it needs to be left to the states. I was like, you idiot.
Yeah, because it's like, oh,
I
we've overturned Roe versus Wade, so now let's see what else we can overturn.
Yeah, but yeah, you try to overturn interracial marriages. See what happens. There'll be riots in this. We'll be at a civil war.
There'll be some people rising up.
Yeah, that'll come to an end real quick.
That I think that will be the other, if as separated as our country is, that would cause a chasm.
You know what? Something like that. You know what might unite our country. It might. You would have white men and black men coming together that have black and white wives, interracial marriages coming together, fighting alongside each other to stop the nonsense. Hey, maybe they should try that. Maybe that's how we can come together.
Maybe, because you know what, men men that find a black woman finds a good thing. So
Oh yeah.
I hate to pop my own collar, but um, if given half the chance, and if people would stop listening to these dusties talk about black women, because the black women they're talking about are
Hmm.
not the black women that people who date out are looking for.
No, we're not. In fact, we're getting amazing black women. We're getting the traditional black women. We're getting the professional black women. That's the black women that we're getting. And you know how we're doing this? And we start at a disadvantage because they're not sure about the white guy, right? But you know how we're winning as white men getting with black women? Is we're coming to them with love and respect, and we're being honest,
Hmm.
a lot of us, and they see the love after a while, and they're like, "Wait a minute. That's basically what's going on." And these guys that come in on me on this channel and say, "Well, they'll call me a racist or whatever." I'm like, "Okay, but look, you guys are blessed. You got the most loyal women on the planet. You got the most beautiful women on the planet. You have it made. You don't even know the blessing you have. So if you're not going to marry them, step aside. I darn sure am going to do it. I've done it. And there's many white men like me, a lot of younger guys that have the same thought process, that see the true beauty in black women. And guess what? You don't marry them, some other men are going to do it. And that's what's happening. And don't hate, either step up to the plate, compete, or just sit by the wayside and complain. It is what it is.
Hmm.
So if you want to throw away your blessing, I'll be there to swoop it up in a heartbeat.
And we look, and us
I
ladies,
already
we're
did.
waiting. You look, you already got your black queen.
Yeah, I
Uh,
already did.
I just need some of these guys in this chat to step up to the plate. You
Yeah,
finally, you're finally drifting into the chat, but I need you to take that out to the real world as well.
yeah, and guys, email me so we can have this all male discussion that the ladies want, so we
Yes.
can express the love we have for them and why we're attracted to them and how we see things. So when they're around other white men, they understand it a little bit more. They don't think we're just staring at them because we're weirdos, okay? And white guys, serious white men, serious. Don't just go to a black woman and stare at her and don't say nothing. That's creepy. And you might be just, it might be innocent and you're admiring her, But you know what? Once you look at her, you have to approach her. Once you give her the eye, you gotta just let her know your intentions. You gotta do it. Yeah, Mark's ready for the discussion. Right on, Mark.
Well, Mark, have you arrived safely yet? Or are you
Yeah,
still in the air? No, it would be nice if, oh, and guys that are in the chat, or guys that are white guys that are watching, if there's somebody that catches your eye in the chat, you can always email Brent and he can forward it to that person if they've actually emailed him.
yeah,
So it doesn't, you can have your hookups, because Mark and Triple P just got married and they met on Mark on this channel.
yeah,
So love is possible. Anything is possible if you just take a leap of faith.
yeah. But you gotta approach, and it's the man's responsibility, not the woman. Don't
Yeah.
don't don't think you're going to give her the eye and she's going to come talk to you. She's just going to think you're a weirdo and say, "What the heck?"
The lady can give the eye, but the guy has to reply.
That hey, there you go. Th- Hey, that's it.
So, I mean, I can give you the eye all day. If you don't approach, that's your loss.
Yep. And then you go thinking back, and then you'll be emailing some white guy like me doing a YouTube channel in the future. Like, you know what? I would have dated a black woman. I just didn't.
Yeah.
Look,
And,
and here's the thing: there are two different types of men in this world, guys. Think about this: ones that make things happen, and ones that wait for things to happen. Who
mhm,
are you? Are you going to wait for something to happen, or are you going to make it happen?
yes, because if you
You
make it
you could.
happen, things can happen.
And another thing, let me give this advice before I close. If you approach a black woman, don't wait till she's alone, and that's the safe deal. But if you really want to make an impact, wait till she's around her friends and just walk up to her and just approach. Tell her what you really think and how you feel about her. And I'm telling you, that will
That
it
takes an extraordinary amount of courage.
it does, but here's the thing. Yeah, it can embarrass you. It could get you kicked to the curb in front of everybody, but then again, it shows that you're not afraid. It shows that you go for what you want. And some ladies will find that attractive. And even if the one that turns you down, her friend might be interested. Just saying. Hey,
I
some
mean, that could happen, but like, you also have to remember, when you have people like me that are introverts, I'm not gonna be surrounded by nobody. I'm gonna be by myself.
well, yeah, but I mean, you can I mean, depending on the person, but I would just say, you know what? What's the worst that could happen? She turns you down in front of everybody. Okay, okay, sorry, thank you.
Um, Brent, for some men, that's like, they'll never recover from that, because it may have taken them all their courage to do that, and then
And then they'll
they
be
get
like,
shot down in front of other people, and it might take them quite some might that might cause them to need therapy.
that they might have to go be a hermit for a couple of years. No, but serious. You know what? You're going to get rejected. Here's the thing. Um, it's just part of life.
Yeah, but like, so many people want surety, a sure thing, and life is not a sure thing. And so, if you truly want love, you have to risk it, and love is worth the risk.
And black women refuse to be hidden. Come second to no one. Ooh, I like that.
Mm,
Black women are second to nobody.
this is true
Yep.
because she's going to put you first in her life, so you should be able to do the same.
And one thing too, before we close, don't let these people get you worked up with numbers and say only 4% of white men are married to black women. Well, guess what? During Loving Virginia was less than 1%. So that's what, a 300% increase.
Hmm.
And take this into account too. They'll tell you that 87% of black men marry black women. Okay? That sounds wonderful, don't it? 30% of black men are married. So that's 87% of 30%. So that 4% ain't such a low number if you really look at the stats. And then look at this too. Marriages with black women, white men are the longest lasting, most successful, and they've even proved that they're more successful financially. Think about it.
That's because black women make everything better.
Yeah, they do. So if you're a good man, she'll make you a great man. There you go.
Hmm. Because there was this little skit between like Barack Obama and Michelle, and it was like they were in a restaurant and it's like that was my ex-husband and he was like ex-boyfriend or something like that, and he was like, oh, so the gist of it was is like, oh, whoever I married would have been the president of the United States, not just because you're the president of the United States. And I'm just like, that's a lot of confidence. But
Yeah.
it's kind of true. It's like I can inspire any man, and I can inspire any man to be the best that he can be. And as long as women are meant to take a man's ideas and make them better, to make him better, to do things and make it better. It's just, and it's not that we're trying to change you, we're just trying to elevate you. And some people can't, some people look at it as, oh, you met me like this, and so you should just accept me for who I am. I do accept you for who I am. I'm just trying to make you who you are better,
Yeah.
because we make each other better.
Yeah, and that's what it's about. No doubt. Yeah, and you know what? And I'm telling you, black women will make you so much better just because the love she has. I'm serious.
But I'm gonna drop off because if I don't, we'll never get off this chat.
Yeah,
Um,
we'll be up here at 6 o'clock in the morning still talking about this.
I know. So let me go ahead and drop because I
Yeah.
always come with something else. Let me
Yeah.
drop off. It's been a pleasure, and I thank you for all that you do.
Oh, thank you so much. And I thank you for coming on and everybody on the panel tonight. I know it's late. Thank you guys for tuning in. Uh Mark and 3P, congratulations again. And hopefully be seeing you guys soon. And I just want to thank everybody that was on tonight. Um, I love you guys. You guys make this possible. And I consider you family, part of the Roadrunner family. And I love you guys. And, I'll be going on tomorrow sometime. I'll be doing a prayer meeting. And then Monday I'm off. So I'll do something Sunday night or Monday night, something like that. So I'll be going on tomorrow also. But yeah. But I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you for coming on. God bless you and your families, and I'll talk to you soon. Have a good night. God bless.